All right, here we are. We're doing a side gig today. This is the same campaign, Cyberpunk 2087, but all I have with me today is Theo Finehair and the Doc after their crazy mission at the Iron Will nightclub in Night City. Now, last where we left off, you guys had a pretty crazy gunfight in the nightclub. It didn't last too long, but Doc, you got really injured and had to seek medical attention, which is ironic, you know, since you're a doctor yourself.
Yeah.
But you know what? After about a month of recovery, you know, I would say 3 weeks of recovery, 2 weeks of recovery, some rehab, and you guys are back. You're back in action. Theo, on the other hand, you didn't get injured at all.
No.
So you were out.
That might be because
Ran away.
So I it was, shall we say, I honestly thought, I said this in the chat as well afterwards, guys, I thought he would chase me. I honestly thought you chased me out. You didn't. So, you know.
Well, to be fair, he was on his way. He was on his way, but Derby got in the way of him being on his way.
Yeah, I think I kind of thought, oh, okay, this is going to be a really hard battle, but in the end, it wasn't as hard as we thought it was going to be. But doesn't mean we should be doing like mental things every single week. But I'm not going to tell anyone that.
Hey man, this is Night City, baby. It's all about doing mental things every week. But unlike other RPGs in Cyberpunk Red, it takes time to heal. So I would say, Doc, I would say a week, 2 weeks minimum in a hospital bed, and then a week of recovery. So you couldn't really do a lot of work. But Theo, in the meantime, you were able to do some side gigs. Before we move on, I want to run the solo hustle for this month for you, Theo. So let's roll twice on the chart for you and then once on the chart for Doc. So roll me a D6.
3.
Okay, you had a difficult hit or extraction right after that job. Roll me another D6.
5.
Okay, attracted undue attention, had to lay low. So you had a difficult hit or extraction right after the Iron Will nightclub, making 200 eddies, okay? And then after that, you're like, okay, there's the word on the street basically got around about everything that you guys did, and you kind of want to lay low, because now you guys have a reputation of, I would say, in Night City, your reputation is at a 3. So just mark that somewhere on your character sheet, reputation 3, and with Maelstrom your reputation is 4. So basically, what does that mean mechanically? That means mechanically, whenever you walk into a nightclub or a bar or something, I roll a d10, and if the number is lower than your reputation, then someone recognizes you.
Oh shit. Okay.
And since you guys are at reputation 3 with Maelstrom, if I roll a 1, 2, or 3, anywhere there's Maelstrom, they'll know exactly who you are.
But it was 4 with Maelstrom. It's 3 with Maelstrom.
It's
sorry.
Maelstrom 3 reputation overall.
That's what I meant. 3 and 4. That's yeah. What do you think that difficult hit or extraction would be?
It's probably going to be finding out more about Arata. This guy's fucked with me one too many times, and now he owes a business partner of mine a lot of money. People wouldn't have seen this in the chat, but we also, on the down low on Scream Sheets, have seen Arata selling the cyberarm we stole last week for around, what was it, 50,000 eddies when he paid us 1,500. And yeah, we're kind of pissed. Like, I'm kind of pissed. Not only did he, on top of all this, I wouldn't normally go for the guy, but on top of all of this, he tipped off this Kera Yorodine loving freak that I would be there to set me up to try and get rid of me. Essentially, basically trying to say, hey, either Theo dies and his team dies and it's fine, there's one less problem, or they succeed and I get the cyberarm. He played a good game, but I'm pissed, and I've been looking at ways to get back at this motherfucker since then. John, do you have the picture of him celebrating like a douchebag in the afterlife, just so we can see who this rat is. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah, so this dude.
Yeah. Surrounded by
so-
friends, newfound friends.
Friends. So I would say I haven't been very careful. Theo hasn't been very careful in terms of looking for information. He's been out there cracking heads. He's probably been to the afterlife and has caused a scene. Looking at hey Chum, like where is he? Who is this guy? And where are his business contacts and things. So I think if I've gotten that information, which it was a successful run, I'm guessing, because even though it was pretty loud, it was successful. Unless you tell me otherwise. So I'd say if we can go with that information, I would then go to Doc's bedside as he's nearly ready to get going, and I'll give him the information, and we can do that as a first scene if you want, or we can do something else. But that's what I would be aiming to do as Theo right now.
Yeah, so I would say, you probably got a job, maybe from Rogue herself, at the afterlife, or maybe somebody that works with Rogue, and it was a very difficult job. You got the job done. You didn't get injured, but maybe somebody on your team died, and you guys were able to accomplish the mission, but with casualties. And then as you came back to the afterlife to collect your pay, you were told, like, hey, you might want to lay low next week. NCPD's been walking around asking questions about someone fitting your description, this and that. Okay. So, the people at the department told me you should chill out and hang out. And that's when you looked over your shoulder and you saw the rat hanging out with some buddies over there. And that's him looking right at you with a knowing glare, knowing that if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't be where he's at. And then you ask some questions like, hey, what's this rat doing here? You know what I mean? And that's when the fixer that you worked with told you, oh, you didn't hear? He just sold a prototype cyberarm for 58,000 eddies at auction. Or he sold it to somebody and they sold it at auction. So he made a chunk of that 58,000, you know what I mean? A little piece of that. So maybe he made like 40,000 or 48 or something like that. You don't know the exact number, but it's a lot more than what he paid you. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
a lot more than what he paid you. And he knew he was underpaying you. He knew he was sending you into the lion's den. And just as you said, perfect errata strategy. Send in these guys. If the Maelstrom guys win, then good. They're a happy client. If these guys win and they get the cyberarm, then even better. I could sell it at auction and make some money. So no matter what, errata was going to win at the end of the day, unless you just decided to walk away and not do the job. So that was the only way to defeat errata in that situation. But errata loves making enemies, all right? He's out here making enemies, and he's making the wrong kind of enemies, okay? Which is you guys. All right. Now, Doc, I want to know what you did after you finally healed up. First of all, would you even go on a gig after you're healed up? Do you want to get out there and make some money?
I don't know if maybe he'd go out on a gig. Maybe he would try and do some medical work. I don't know if that counts.
Okay.
I don't know if that requires a role. But
Very
I don't
much.
think he'd do maybe a gig. Maybe he'd just run the clinic, basically.
Okay, roll me a D6, and we'll see how busy your clinic was.
3.
A 3, okay. Not too busy. It was kind of a slow week. You only made 100 eddies that week. So I will give you the 100 eddies right here. So you guys are getting dangerously close to paying rent. After we do these side gigs and we all convene with all the other players, I will be collecting rent and lifestyle. So we're getting very close to that. But
it was 1,500 we were paid by errata, right?
That's right. 1,500 by errata. So you guys should be 1,500 richer. Let me get that too. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Oops. I put some money in there. Oh, there you go.
Now, John, can you voluntarily change lifestyles like you can in real life to say, I'm being really frugal this month? I'm not going to. I just need to know
Absolutely.
for future.
Absolutely. You can upgrade and downgrade your lifestyle at any time. You just let me know at the beginning of every month. You know, hey, I'm not gonna live in a cube hotel anymore. I have like an actual place. I live in the corporate zone, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we'll figure that out. But yeah, once you find out, Theo, about what's going on with Arata, how do you react?
But beyond my initial, I need to find all the information I can. I want to know. I want to know about his businesses. I want to know about his interests. I want to know where this guy is holed up. Like, and I don't want to hit his home. I don't really give a shit about killing him, but I want to raid one of his places. I want to case the joint, make sure it's got lots of good stuff in there, and I want to make back my pound of flesh, and make sure that I make Doc whole. Like, I know there was a joke the other week where we were talking about somebody. I think it was Arata said, "Oh, you're the leader now, right?" Well, I don't think Theo's a leader, but I think Theo is naturally prone to taking responsibility for people around him. He's kind of like very, shall we say, all of this rocket boy shit, bravado is kind of a front. Do you know what I mean? Like, he actually does care about the guys who he's with, and Doc. He's known Doc the longest, and him getting stiff like that is really, I mean, Arata making a lot of money and shortchanging mercs. That's Night City. That's business. Like, he's got a, yeah. It would piss me off, but it wouldn't like ruin my day or my week. But like one of my friends being shortchanged and then pulling shit like this and trying to sell me out and get me killed like he did with Akari. That's got my attention, and I'm gonna burn one of his businesses or multiple to the fucking ground. And I'm gonna make sure that the scream sheets know who did it, why, and how much of a rat this guy is. And no merc should be working for him. Want to ruin his rep, ruin his business, and then leave him alive. So that's what I've been trying to do since then. That was my response. A few sleepless nights, I guess, trying to work this out and lean on any contacts that I have to get some information that I can take to Doc.
And Doc, how do you feel about the situation? And first of all, do you tell Doc about all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I would say you maybe headed back to his clinic, maybe to visit him, see how he's doing. You head back to his clinic, the Bleeding Heart, check in on him, see how he's doing. You see that he's up and running. Business has been a little bit slow. And maybe you guys have a chat about those kinds of situations. And Doc, how would you react about what you hear about Arata and the 58,000 Eddie arm and him partying at the afterlife?
The reactions Doc would have to the parting at the afterlife and the 50K, he'd be irritated, annoyed. But what really has ticked him off is the fact that he's been overcharging his customers and basically putting a mark on his name that he's an expensive or overpriced service. And
Doc, he's living off your rep, man. He's charging people money off your rep. That's what he's doing. That's the lowest shit you can do in this city, is using somebody else's rep and skills and then overcharging for them and skimming off the top.
Yeah, and there's one thing you don't do with Doc, and that's mess with his money and his business. So that has him furious, and he used to be a bit ambivalent about it, about Arata. Now he was literally tempted that last session to put a bullet in the back of his head. But when Teddy's come to him and said he wants to wreck his business and put him in the dirt, not kill him, but basically ruin his life, he is all for it and on board.
Well, Doc, like killing this guy would be easy, right? We just wait for him. We know roundabout where he goes, what he does. He's not shy. We wait for him. We put a bullet in him. We call it a day. That's easy. What I want is difficult. I was going to say what I want is hard. That sounds wrong. But what I want is difficult. All right. We're going to have to get a plan together. John, this would be where you come in. Do I have any files on me, anything like that? I'm on his businesses. Have I found out anything? Should I roll for that?
Roll me a streetwise, and we can see if you can contact some of the people that you know, see if they have their ear to the ground.
That is a natural 1 and a 12.
Yeah. So basically, anybody that you called told you to F off, and told,
surprising, yeah.
you know, they either like they don't want to talk about it, they don't know what you're talking about, or the last time you talked to them, it wasn't a good conversation. So you got to kind of let things cool over before you start asking these questions. And basically, you're hitting dead ends on trying to figure out what's going on with Arata, which kind of piques your interest a little bit more, I'm sure, because Arata's super loud about everything that he's always doing. You know, he's always telling people it's more extravagant than it really is. Like, oh, I got this next big job. You have no idea. This is it. This is the big times. We're going to make it. And then you get there and you're surrounded by a bunch of goons and you almost die.
So if we're in the clinic right now and there's no patients over here, I'll say, Doc, like, dude, I've tried everything. I've been to everyone. A few X's, I grant you, but like, you know, we ended up on amicable terms, but some of the language they used with me was like really uncalled for. But I found out nothing. Either this dude is the smartest guy on Earth because he looks like an absolute imbecile and talks that way and constantly gets into trouble, but he's really good at covering his tracks. Or he's not as big of a fish as we were thinking. Have you come up with anything? I mean, I'm sure you were pissed off in the meantime. Have you looked for anything?
Theodore, firstly, let's be honest. Was that really why you went talking to those exes? Let's be honest now.
The man's got to eat, June.
Yeah. Secondly, I'm with you. That is very suspicious. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. Maybe...
What are you skinning cats for? This is, what?
It's an expression. It's... I know you're from Japan, but it's an expression.
Cat stew is really good, by the way. If you never tried it, it is fabulous. You can get down there. I'll take you to Akihabara once, and we'll have some ramen, some cat ramen. You love it, man.
I don't know about that, June. But I don't know, John. While I was in bed, if I looked or had any contacts or ex-patients that knew anything about Arata or any information.
You can also roll streetwise and see if you heard anything about Arata.
My streetwise isn't the greatest.
Well, as long as you don't roll a 1, should be doing
don't
better.
say that. Why would you do that to me?
You both
so
roll
I
ones.
Comment on Northbound.
Nobody finds out what's going on.
Session ends.
That's the session.
Hey,
that's the opposite.
There we go.
It's a 10, so I get a roll again.
Roll again.
So that's 15 plus, I think, plus
whatever your
4,
base is.
so 19.
All right, yeah. With a 19, you make contact with, you tell me, what kind of person would you want to contact? Another fixer, another edge runner? What
Another
do you think?
fixer, I think.
Okay.
I think that if he had a patient that was a fixer, that would be the first person he would think to contact.
Okay, you contact somebody by the name of Hornet, who is a drug dealer. Now, why you contact them? Probably because you source chemicals from them to make, you know, the stuff that you need for your clinic. And since you now have some Maelstrom that are knocking on your door for your Blue Lace Plus, that's what they're calling it. You've
Yeah.
Now you're thinking, okay, I got to source some monohydroxyl dioxaphene, blah, blah, blah kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And, you know, you threw it out there. You threw out the question like, hey, you know, Arata, the fixer, and Hornet obviously replies to you like, oh, yeah, I know all about that rat. And, you know, conversation moves and it goes and it flows. And he brings up the mention that he all of a sudden came up with all this money out of nowhere and these connections out of nowhere, and now he's like a big player in Night City all of a sudden, or he thinks he's a big player in Night City. He's going around telling people that he's working with a big corporation by the name of Fujian Corp. Now, if you guys have the bureaucracy skill, why don't you roll that for me?
If we have it.
If
I
you
don't
don't,
believe I
if you
do.
don't, roll it anyway. You can just roll 1d10 plus whatever your base is.
Oh, it's got 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can... another natural 1.
Hey.
It's my turn this week.
It's going.
I
It's
want to
going
get him out
around.
the way now.
Yeah, now's the-
That's fine.
Well, that was my issue. My issue was I did really well with the social stuff, and then when it got to combat, that's when all the low rolls started coming in.
This is all fine. Get him out the way. It's just, I'm gonna roll some more, get this taint out the way.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh, and even worse. So what'd you get there, Doc?
Where's the bureaucracy skill under? Is it social skills?
It's under education.
Yeah, if you don't have the
Education,
skill, then it's just your stat plus 1d10. So if you don't have any points in the skill.
Okay, all right. So I think I rolled a 4.
So yeah, your bureaucracy.
7, so it's 11.
Okay. With an 11, you've heard of Fujian Corp. You know that they're a Japanese company and they're a fairly new company. There's rumors about them being part of Arasaka, but none of them are founded. It's just another Japanese company, and sometimes people like to connect those dots when those dots don't necessarily need to be connected. But as far as you know, they're a cybernetics company that also specializes in weapons and armor and gear for the consumer level. This isn't like military grade. This is like stuff you'll see in a vending machine, or it's like mid-level. You know, Constitutional Arms is on the bottom, Militech's on the top, Fujisan is somewhere in the middle between those two. But they do have some luxury items. As far as it goes for you, you don't really buy too much of their stuff because it's a little bit priced out of your clientele. But every now and then, I'm sure you bought like a cyber arm or something from them, you know. But here is Arata saying that he's working for them, or he's gonna work for them, or he has something going on with them. And Hornet's telling you like that he thinks he's basically made it already.
So Theodore, while I was bedridden for not being fast enough, few holes, but healing up nicely, I got in contact with an old patient, goes by the name Hornet, Fixer.
That's a dumbass name, but carry on.
I don't name them, man. Apparently, they've heard of Arata, and is it he or she?
He.
A Hornet. He. And he says that Arata came out with money and connections out of nowhere. Says they got it in, or they will get it in, with this Fujian Corp. They do I know of them. They do they're a cybernetics company, but like mid-range, nothing huge. I bought a few things from them. That's the information I got. So that's the lead. We could go looking into them.
Yeah, I think that's more than a good lead. Like we know who he's doing business with, and we know who's covering his tracks. Even a mid-level corp. Let us be honest. We know Arasaka's not in bed with this guy. Why would you be? You know? But any corp of that size could easily hide shit from guys like us. You know, from a surface level scan. Or me calling my exes. Right? So maybe we look into this. Fujiwara, right?
Fujisan.
Fujisan.
Yeah, Fujisan. I'll type it right here. Fujisan Corp.
I can already hear the ads on the TV. Fujisan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, this is a Japanese company, sells in America, very much like Toshiba or, you know, stuff like that in the real world that we're used to. But as I said, they're a new company, so there isn't a lot of information about them. And as far as you guys know, you're not really sure what makes them significant in Night City. They're just another brand that you see at Walmart, basically. You know what I mean?
Can I look at my old contacts? Only I've got a little black book of people I've worked for and people I've worked with. Can I see if it rings any bells? If any of my old Merc buddies or any of my old fixes or clients have had dealings with these guys before?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to do that. What kind of contact are you calling?
I'm probably going to call a Merc friend of mine,
Okay.
Jyzelle. So Jyzelle and I have done a few runs together. She's a pretty good solo. Unfortunately unavailable, but there we go. And yeah, so I want to get into call with her because she's done a lot of work for Japanese Corps. So I'd like to get in touch with her and see if she has anything to say for herself.
Jyzelle, right?
Yeah, she handles like import export stuff at the port. So if electronics are coming in from Fujisan, that she's gonna probably know who these guys are. Maybe get me in. Maybe, I don't know. Worth a try.
Okay, you give Jyzelle a call, and she answers. Ring, ring, ring. Well, if it isn't Theo.
Hey, Jyzelle. Hey, how's it going? Sorry to call you so abruptly.
Hold on, I lost you. Call dropped.
Yeah, I know you're a busy woman, Jyzelle. So, yeah, I thought I'd just give you a call. I've got a few questions, but firstly, how are you? How's business?
This is the problem, Theo. You're only calling me when you need something. You're never calling me to say, hey, I got a gig. Hey, I got a chance for us to make some money. You're always looking for some tail or looking to get something from me.
Well, if I was gonna go for tail in this city, Jyzelle, your number would be the first one that I called. But beyond that, this is kind of personal, Tune. This isn't anything to do with business. I just need some information. That's all, and it's really surface level stuff. It's not going to get you into any trouble. Yeah, there's no bullets coming your way. If anything, it'll be on my head. But I just need some information. That's all. And I know as somebody who keeps an eye to the docks, you might know some information that I might need. Again, surface level, strictly.
Well, Theo, you and I have been doing this long enough to know that information is a valuable resource that costs money. So, depending how deep this information is, I might have to charge you a little bit, for old time's sake.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about I tell you what I need and you hit me up with a price?
All right. Let's
if you know the information. All right. I'm going to need information on Fujisan Corp. They're, as you know, electronics company moving stuff in and out of the docks, things like TVs, agents, things like that. Low mid-level corp, no big risk. But I need to know who they're doing business with, where they've got warehouses, and if you can source this for me, a blacklist of people that they may have, fixes that they may have in the city. And we're looking for one name in particular, Arata. If you can find me that, you can name your price.
So name your price.
There's kind of like there's a pause on the other line, and then Jyzelle finally answers. All right, I know you're not writing a book report on Fujisan, so just level with me. Are you trying to topple this damn corp like the moron that you are?
No. I'm all right. I'm gonna lay it out for her. I'm gonna tell her what the deal is, because I've worked with Jyzelle before. She's not a rat, unlike some people. Dependable, clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna say, listen, so that's it. That's who Arata is. This is the guy I'm after. So no, Fujisan, I've got no actual beef with them whatsoever. It's this guy. I want to know where his contacts are, where his businesses are. I want to know. Basically, Jyzelle, find me a target and I'll hit it. That's it.
So, do you tell her about the whole nightclub, the cyberarm selling for more, him setting you up with...
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the screen sheets anyway, so yeah, because it's Maelstrom already know we did that, so yeah.
So, Jyzelle, being an edge runner herself, she sympathizes with everything that you're saying, and as you're regaling her with the tale of everything that happened, you hear a few gasps, a few oh my gods, you know what I mean? And by the time you finish your story, she's on your side, and she says, I knew that rat was going to get one of us one of these days. He called me for that job a week before he called you, and I told him to fuck off because I knew exactly what he was trying to do. He fucked me and my friend over the other week, and I lost a good choom, flatlined, over his dumbass.
Yeah,
But
this is a cancer that needs to go, Jyzelle. I need to cut this out. I took the job because I needed the money, but we're the guys in the firing line, not the fixers. And this is a two-way street. I don't fuck with fixers as long as they don't fuck with me and my bottom line. And this motherfucker has gone too far. One too many times with one too many people. I don't need your help. Again, just find me a target and I'll hit it. I'm not going to take the guy out. I want to leave him in disgrace. You know, I want to make sure he never gets a client in the city again. I want to see him on the fucking street. So, if you have any information, send it my way.
well, listen, now that you mentioned Fuji-san, there's a little tidbit that I can give you. You remember Crackhead, the booster?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's gotten worse over time, okay? And you know Crackhead because he's not only a druggie, but he actually has a split cyber head right down the line from the back of his neck all the way down to the front of his head, and you could just see that he leaves it that way as like an intimidation factor instead of getting it repaired. And so that's how he got his nickname. Crazy guy, not a good person to work with, but has a reputation in Night City. He is a leader of a booster gang called the Metalheads, and the reason that Jyzelle knows him, she's done some work with him before and regretted it, but she seems to remember that one time when they were having a conversation, when she walked in the door, a Fujisan Corp walked out of the door. And after a little bit of talking here and there, Jyzelle tells you, so get this, Crackhead tells me that Fujisan is looking for booster gangs to work with them. I don't know why, I don't know how, and I don't know what the reason is, but he swears up and down it's going to take over Night City. Now, this is Crackhead talking, okay? So most of the time I don't even listen to anything that he says. You know what I mean? But I don't know, maybe he's onto something. Maybe there's something going on with Fujisan and the boosters, and I don't know how Arata fits in this, but he's got his ear to the ground with some of these gangs. Maybe he's working with Fujisan on that aspect.
Okay, well, that's good info. So I'll tell you what, you hit me up with the price, send me a message, and I'll get it over to you. I'm going to need to take this information over to my partner who's going to be helping me with this. But thanks, Jyzelle. Thank you. And hopefully I'll take him out for you, so there's one less thing to worry about.
Listen, if you want to pay me back, just get him good, all right? Because I'm tired of him. I'm tired of seeing him smiling and living around the city. You know how the Merc code goes. You don't kill a fixer unless they had it coming. But I don't know if he's got it coming or not, Theo, but definitely ruin him if you can.
Oh, I plan to do so. I'll keep your name out of it, Jyzelle. All right, I'll see you.
Later,
I'll lock the phone down. I give all that information over to Doc. So yeah, booster gangs, man. This seems way too violent for Arata. He's a sniveling prick, and if he is involved with this, we may need to go with some of your contact on this one, because right now, I have a few more, normal street level mercs I can call, but in terms of, guys who are running with booster gangs, have you treated anyone like that? Have you come across any guys who may know something like that?
GM, do I know anyone that might know something about that?
So I would say, since you already rolled a Streetwise before, that was just to figure out what Arata's doing. But now this is a new check. This is a check to see how Fujisan is connected to booster gangs. So if you want to roll me a Streetwise now, it's a totally different skill check.
Another Streetwise.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be as lucky as I was before, but might as well. There we go. Of course. Of course it comes back to me.
Now, rules as written, you cannot do a skill check again unless you change the parameters of the skill. And then you rolled a 10, which is even worse.
Nothing. -6, I think.
Yeah, so that means whenever you make a phone call, you're getting less than pleasing answers on the other end. You know, maybe you hit up some corporate contacts and they're like, I don't even know you. I don't know who you are. Stop calling.
Dude,
you know?
Dude, Doc, give me the fucking phone. Give me the number. Give me the number. I'll do it.
You're going to make it worse. You're going to make it worse.
No. I don't speak to people. I'll be good. Honestly.
These are of the female persuasion, and you just can't keep it in your pants.
Even better, Tube. You know me. Like, I can talk a tortoise out of its shell, Doc. Come on, pass me the number, man. I can't
That's
do any
just what
worse.
you tell yourself.
I can't do any worse than your mumbling and bumbling, all right? I can't listen to this anymore. Pass me the phone. Watch how a master works. Watch how it's done.
Okay.
All right.
I hand him the number.
Okay, roll me a... so you call this person. Roll me a conversation.
Alrighty.
Theo.
That's plus 12.
Don't say that.
17.
Okay, so this person answers the phone. Do you use your own phone, or are you still using Doc's phone?
I'll use mine.
Okay. Hello, this is Helena.
Hello, Helena. How are you this afternoon? It's Theo Eurodyne.
I'm sorry, what did you say your last name was?
Eurodyne.
Okay. I'm sorry, have I worked with you? And I'm sorry, I recognize the name, obviously, but I don't say...
No, actually, you come highly recommended as a source of good information. So I thought I'd give you a quick call and see if we could touch base on whether I could get some info out of you. Just on general happenings over at... who did she work for? Who was she with?
Sovoil.
With Fujian? Sovoil? Okay, just general happenings over at Sovoil. There's a few jobs I'm going to have to go on in the near future that I would rather not be walking into blind. So you come highly recommended as a good information source. So here I am.
Listen, if you're one of our...
Video, by the way?
It's up to you. If it's a phone call or a video call, it's up to you.
I'll do video call.
Okay.
So I say, stunning eyes, by the way. That's fantastic, and I love the Jinjitsu suit. The Jinjitsu suit. That's amazing. Those are new in this year. I know. You're a woman of taste. That's all I can say.
She kind of like looks around and then she like goes off into a corner and kind of whispers like, "Okay, I'm sorry. Are you an operative of ours, or how did you get my number?"
So, how did I was in the room when the other phone call went down. How did her phone call with Doc end? Was it bad?
Oh God, you're one of Doc's friends. Okay, listen, I told him to...
No. I'm asking the GM. Like, how did I was in the room?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, you were in the room with him, and then you heard, him saying like, "No, Helena, please, Helena, no, please, wait, I just want," and then hung up. You know what I mean?
So I'm sure I know what Helena's job is. She's like intel or something, right?
Yeah, so she works with operatives. She's like a corporate fixer, basically, for Sovoil.
Okay. So Helena, my dad has done a few gigs, well, Sovoil sponsored gigs, I'm sure you know, mainly Malaysia, Philippines, places like that. So you're on one of his contact lists. In fact, you're one of the only ones that he had that came highly recommended by Sovoil. So I figured I'd call you and get the heads up on what I'm going to be walking into. I'm not an operative of Sovoil, no. I'm an independent contractor on my own.
Wait, you're telling me your father is Carrie Eurodyne?
Yeah, go and look it up. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I'll send her my credentials. I'll send her like my official like ID and things. Like, I'll send her all that.
She, after a moment, she like opens up her phone, looks at it, and she goes, "Huh, look at that. I heard rumors that he has children. I didn't know one of them was a Night City merc. That's insane. All right.
It is, but
Okay, call me intrigued. Fine. What can I do for you?
Booster gangs.
They exist.
Booster gangs, my dear Helena. Yes. I am of the well, not of the opinion, I'm of the information that Sovoil has been, shall we say, indentured or in bed with certain booster gangs that are in the city. I need to know where a certain client of said booster gangs working with Fujian Corp may be in the city and where his places of business may be. Is that something you could help me with?
Roll me a persuasion.
Alrighty, let me just double check what my persuasion actually is. 'Cause I think it's quite. Oh, it's 14. Okay, let's do this. Exciting times. Oh, good. That's 21.
21.
Isn't 21?
It
Yeah,
is.
21.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, 21.
Fujisan,
You're gonna need
huh?
math, kids.
Yeah, eventually you'll need math. You need to read and do math. That's what it is.
Mhm.
Fujisan, huh?
It'll be a Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I'll lay it down level with you, Chum. Fujisan has been a pain in Sovoil's ass in Night City for far too long, and we've finally started to figure out what their game is. Okay. Do you know about city resources and how they are managed?
Vaguely. As a merc, I normally partake in the ramen variety of food and beverage. So surface level interest at best.
Well, see, Night City has a budgeting problem. Okay, they spend a little bit too much here, can't spend enough over there. It's been a problem for many, many years, and Richard Knight is rolling in his grave, seeing all of the budgetary plans that the Night City Council has for the city. But every now and then, there's some extra chaos in the streets in specific areas in the city that seemingly come out of nowhere. And it makes people wonder who's behind all of these coordinated attacks or whether they're coordinated at all. And, you know, they are coordinated. And they're coordinated because Fujisan is behind it. Now, do we have proof? No. Is it hearsay? Yes. But you know how it is in the streets, Choom. Snitches get stitches. So the only way...
A mid-level corp like Fujisan has the balls to take on Sovoil.
Come on, Choom. Fujisan is just Arasaka spelled in a different font.
Yeah, you got me.
They're just one of these small little baby companies because Arasaka's name can't be attached to any of the crazy things that they do. So if it ever gets found out, Fujisan's doors get closed and Arasaka acts like they had no idea what their rogue corporations were doing in the background. Come on, it's not the first time it's happened.
No. Okay, well, if you can give me some information on a name of mine and where his warehouses may be, I may be able to be a massive fucking thorn in Fujisan's side, just as much as they are to you. And I'm guessing your superiors at Sovoil would very much like to reward the person who set these kind of things in motion, would they not?
Yeah, except, you know, the locations where Fujisan's warehouses are the same locations where Sovoil's warehouses are, and Militech's warehouses are, and et cetera, and et cetera.
I'm not going for any of their official merchandise. I'm going for the rats on the street who run with them. I'm going to hit them where I can hit them, and I can hit them with the people in Night City who run things on the street, who dare to get in business with them. If you want Night City mercs to think twice before taking a job for Fujisan Corp ever again, you let me do my job.
I'll tell you what, Choom. How about this? You find out whatever information you can about what Fujisan is doing, who they're working with, why they're working with them, and you pass that information on to me, and I will make sure that you can figure out how you can get them when they need to be got.
Okay. I'm assuming she's talking about Arata there, as in the person I want to get to.
Well, she doesn't know about Arata. She just thinks you're after Fujisan.
So I'm gonna now lay it in and say, listen, I agree with all of that. I'll do you one better, Helena. I will raise you. I'm after a guy called Arata. He's a low to mid level fixer here in Night City. He works Fujisan Corp. I'm after him, his business interests, anything that he has. I want to burn it to the ground. I want to put him on the street. Okay? If in the course of this job, it's very likely I will come across Fuji-san information, pay data, that I will give to you free of charge. Whatever Fuji-san information I get from my run against the Rata, I will pass on to you, and I will not ask for an any. How does that sound?
This Arata fella, hold on one second. You just hear her clicking some keys on her computer. Arata. And like after some time, she starts.
While Doc's listening, he just is like whispering through the side.
Go ahead.
What do you say?
He's just saying metalheads. Mr. Gang, Theodore.
Oh, yeah.
Metalheads.
Oh yeah, he'll be working with Fuji-san. I can give you a snippet of information right now. They're working with a group called the Metalheads right now. That'll be Fuji-san Corp. They're way, way, way deep in bed with them, and there is a big thing coming on the horizon. I don't know what it is. I'm fixing to put my finger in a lot of gears here before that ever happens. But there is a job coming up where they're going to be using these Metalheads to maybe crack some heads.
You see, as you're saying all this information, she's like hitting her keyboard, looking for things. Then she turns to like somebody in the room and goes, "Hey, Arata, does that fixer mean anything to you? Metalheads, any of those things ring a bell?" An assistant goes off, does something, and then she says, "Sorry, give me a second here." And after some time, she mutes her microphone. You see them having some kind of conversation. Do you guys have lip reading? It's a skill.
I think I might do, Is it in social skills?
It could be. I think it's either social or technical.
It's it's an awareness skills. It's above perception. I don't have.
I've got a 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall I roll it? I've got a 5.
Hey, try it.
Let's do it.
Doc, you have a 7.
That's an 8.
An 8. Yeah.
I thought I needed to put something in it.
No, you can just roll 1d10 plus 7. Yeah, that's fine because it's just your stat plus 1d10. So 11. Okay.
11.
It's hard to make out exactly what they're saying. Over his shoulder, you're kind of looking without trying to be on camera because that would be really bad if you, So you kind of making out a few words. It doesn't seem like they're saying anything like secretive. She's just like, do we work with them? That kind of thing. Is it important? After a moment, she finally unmutes the microphone and she says, "All right, listen, this is what I got. Arata, low-level fixer, not really on our radar. I got a few little items here about him. Something recent about him selling a cyber arm. That's about it. But if he's working with Fuji-san, then this must be one of those crucibles that they put the fixers through. What they do is they source a fixer, give them a job, see if they're good enough. If they prove themselves, then they bring them in deeper into the conversation. But as far as I know, from what I can see, Arata hasn't made it to there yet. Now, you did mention... Go ahead.
Metalheads, right? You're about to talk about the Metalheads? This might be what he's involved in, right?
Yeah, I don't know what his connection is with the Metalheads, but I will tell you one thing about them is that they're also super low level. But after I searched and looked a little bit, I saw that they were connected to a bigger booster gang called the Metal Vultures. You guys want to roll a Streetwise on that?
Sure. Plus 11.
Notes. My Streetwise is not great.
19.
But
19. All right. Yeah, Doc, you don't need to roll because you're going to get the information anyway.
I'll get beat that.
So with the 19, the Metal Vultures are a pretty well-known booster gang in Night City. They're known as basically tech tinkerers and jury riggers, people that put things together. A lot of nomads work with them. They have all kinds of crazy technology that they've reverse engineered from the 2020s onward. And their leader is a sadistic woman who likes to record the the death rattles of her enemies and remix them into music.
Yep.
So she goes around, that's like,
Fucking serious.
that's what she's known for, is doing weird stuff like that. And she has that connected into her cyberware, is what the rumor is. So she kills
Another one
someone,
of these motherfuckers.
records their death gurgles, and then makes it into some music. That's actually kind of popular in Night City because of, you know, obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, it's pretty par for the course for Fujisan to work with the booster gang like that, because they can cause a lot of chaos in certain areas in the city, diverting resources there. So yeah, she puts it together that way, and Jyzelle says, you know, I don't know what other booster gangs Fujisan is trying to work with, but I don't know how Arata's connected to it. But if he's trying to find some booster gangs and connect them together for Fujisan, that's something that Fujisan will likely be happy with.
All right, well, Jyzelle, not Jyzelle, Helena, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. You've been very helpful. Any pay data I get, I'll be sure to pass on to you. Anything about Fujisan, I'll pass straight on to you.
Keep me in the loop, Choom, all right? Maybe this will be the beginning
will.
of a great opportunity.
I will, thank you.
She hangs up.
I'll add her to my list of people I can
Yep.
call upon. I'm going to, obviously, Doc was in the room, so I'm going to fill him in and then sit back and see what he comes up with.
Well, Doc?
Just taking it in. Just taking it in. A lot of puzzle pieces. And we still need to find somewhere to strike. How connected do you know, Theodore, are the metal vultures to the metal heads? Like, are they like a splinter off of them, or are they just like a subsidiary?
From what I understand, it's kind of like in a biker gang. It's kind of like a junior chapter, you know. So they're not really in deep. I don't think the metal vultures, like, these guys are ruthless pieces of shit. So if we killed every single metalhead, they'll probably just laugh and request a BD of it, you know. So I don't really fear going up against the vultures unless there's one of them there. If one of them's there, then rattling their cage may be a bit above our pay grade right now. But I think we need to look into booster gangs. Do you know anybody at the PD? You've got to, right? You've got to know somebody at the PD who's got something on these guys. They're booster gangs.
Do I know anyone, GM, on the PD?
Well, do you work with the police? Because if you work with the police, booster gangs won't like that. If you work with the booster gangs, the police won't like that.
Yeah,
So it's really up to you. Maybe you work with a few, you know, here and there.
Yeah, I think with my history, I don't think I would deal much with the cops.
Would Maelstrom, though?
Maelstrom might.
Would they work with booster gangs?
They might know something.
Well, you have that shit they want, man.
I do. But remember, we are on their list now, and we still haven't smoothed it over.
We're on the list. Maybe we need to nip that in the bud, because we're on the list of maybe one. You know, we killed one low-level lieutenant, and a shoot up in a Maelstrom bar is Tuesday, right? You know, maybe they pissed off the wrong mercs who came in to have a dance.
Maybe. Or we can point fingers at Arata and say,
precisely.
This is...
You got those clients last time, right? They wanted.
I got his number. Yeah.
Yeah.
They call it.
Maybe we said
what I've heard. They call it Blue Lace Plus.
Well, they do when you get it, my friend. When you make it, absolutely. So, GM, Doc has had a long time to prepare. He's not doing it under duress. So, could he not make some fucking amazing blue lace? Like,
yeah,
he's got time.
In fact, I would say that you already had made it, and you've already worked with these Maelstrom guys, the guys that you met at the nightclub. You know, rumor got around, and they contacted you, and basically the sentiment is like, yeah, I know what you did at the nightclub. but you got rid of a guy that we all generally didn't like anyway. And it is what it is. Blue Lace Plus is good. Like, we can't deny how good it is. So they don't go around telling people that you're a friend of theirs, but they're still calling you on the down low and being like, hey, can we come by? Business is business. We'll pick up the blue lace, this and that. So it's up to you how deep you want to like converse with them. That was like the initial conversation, like, hey, we're cool. We didn't like that guy anyway. But don't go around telling people that we're coming to your clinic.
Yeah. Well,
do we want to wipe the slate clean with these dudes, Doc? Or are we just looking for information?
it would be better business for me if we could wipe the slate clean. If I can call up my mates, what's his name again?
I am still on the call, by the way. I'm just gonna turn around and insert my chair out. One sec.
Where did I put it now?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the guy I met that I spoke to at the club that I gave the...
Yeah, I don't think we got a name for that guy. But anyway, that guy died. Okay? Because,
did he?
yeah, he died because, that it is what it is. But he introduced you to another ganger who just showed up and was like, you seem to remember that those two were together, and then now the other guy's gone and this guy's here, and he tells you, oh yeah, he got flatlined last week on a job that they did. But this new guy, his name is Steely, and he is heavily addicted.
Okay.
Steely is heavily addicted to Blue Lace Plus. He's one of your best customers. He pays well. He doesn't show up at odd hours, but his phone calls have been more frequent. And in fact, you just saw him like a couple days ago. He came by and bought like a big amount. Maybe they had a job that they finished, but he was flush with eddies, and he bought a big amount. And that was the last time you talked to him.
I thought you were going to call him Steve
tell
then for a millisecond. Like, that's amazing.
Steve. Now there has to be a Maelstrom guy somewhere that's named Steve. I tell Theodore, well, I could call Steely. He might know something. I don't know how reliable he is because he's pretty high on the stuff. But he might know something. And if we wanted to put Arata and Maelstrom's crosshairs, we could ask him either to expand the Blue Lace business into Maelstrom or just negotiate with them and tell them Arata's the real guy that caused the incident at their club.
Well, the thing is, Doc, like, you've got an in here, right? So if he's addicted to this stuff, you're his daddy. Like, this is it. Like, he's got no choice but to parlay with you. So maybe we don't need him. Maybe we just need him to make a phone call to the right person and get us in a room with somebody further up the chain. And then we make that meeting in a place that's open. They're not going to draw on us, that kind of a thing. Maybe we can do that.
Sounds good to meet you. Also, just don't call me daddy, because that's your kind of language. I know that's what you like to be called, but I don't like to be called that.
Dude, like daddy issues is what brought us together, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Like with the, but like, yeah, I mean, this is your phone call to make.
That's why I don't want to be a daddy. Well, I'll then call up Steely.
I've got to be here for this. It's gonna be awesome.
Ring, 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 ring. It rings twice, and Doc. It's funny. I was just talking about you because I'm here with the boys, and we're talking about how good this stuff is. I'm telling you, I haven't felt this good in years.
Great to hear it, Steely. I was actually calling you about this stuff. I've been thinking about increasing my business into Maelstrom, and I was thinking about if you could get me in contact with someone up the the ladder, and maybe I could expand the business into more of your gang.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, ooh, I don't know about that, Choom. It's just sounding a little bit dangerous for both of us, if you know what I mean. Because, you know, what happened at the nightclub, it wasn't too long ago, you know. And the thing is, I haven't really told the boss that we've been working with you. They did tell us if we ever see you guys that it's on site, but I can't really tell them that I'm working with you, Choom. You know what I mean? It's just, we got to keep it a little down low for a little while.
You don't need to tell the boss you've been getting stuff from me already. You don't need to do that. All we need to do is say, hey, I got a nice product here. We need to talk biz. I'm sorry what happened in the nightclub, but there were a lot of extenuating circumstances. But I also have information of who the guy that set the whole thing at the nightclub up was. The ringleader, the real snake. Not only that, he's the guy that sent your crew on that Militech gig.
So you're saying that false Militech gig that got a couple of our Maelstrom boys flatlined was from the same guy you're talking about?
Same guy, same rat.
Barn Owl.
And I want him... Barn Owl. And I want him sorted out. And I bet your bosses want him sorted out. So I want to come with a peace offering to your bosses. I want to put that and start fresh. Business. I get you the goods, you get me the eddies and some info. Swap of info. That's all I want.
Roll me a persuasion at a +1. You can do it. You can do it.
Don't say that. Don't say it.
Hey.
Oh, that's good. That's a 14.
All right.
Which is near the highest I could get.
So the difficulty value for this is not as high as you think because you got the goods. They like the goods. And more goods is always good. All right, Choom, listen. I can't make any promises, but I can tell you this. I could put you in the room with Heavyset. All right, Heavyset is one of the boys that moves product around in Night City. I've showed him some of the Blue Lace Plus. He really liked it. He did show some interest. He told me, hey, maybe we should be moving this. But that was a week ago. We haven't talked about that since. All I can tell you is he likes your product and he didn't like Chrome Break. I'll tell you that much, okay? But loyalty is loyalty, okay? I can't control what he does or what he says, but I can promise you that I can get you in the same room with him.
That's all I need, you.
And I recommend you come fully armed. You never know.
Never know. We always do. Courtesy when it comes to Maelstrom. I think he'd be insulted if we weren't fully armed.
Oh, and maybe just don't come alone. You know what I mean? I mean, I won't shoot you, Choom. I promise I won't shoot you.
I know, Choom. Don't worry. I got a guy.
All right. Give me 5 minutes. I'll call you back or I'll message you.
You're the best, Choom.
No, you are, Doc. And he hangs up.
Right, so you guys need to get a
hang up the
fucking
phone.
room, huh? Jeez.
Theodore, I've heard your pillow talk. I don't need you listening to mine, please.
You need to stop listening to what Darby records and just, a lot of that shit he gets off Scream Sheets and other things and BDs, none to do with me, Tube.
So after 5-10 minutes, you get a text message from Steely letting you know that Heavyset has agreed to meet with you. And he said that you should be there at 8 p.m. at a specific location in Night City. And it's definitely one of those places that you don't really want to go to by yourself. If I could just get it up. Hold on. All right. Why don't you guys talk amongst yourselves about your idea of how you're gonna handle this?
Basically, anything Theodore didn't hear, just fill him in.
Yeah. Maybe me. No, in fact, I'm not going to do that. I was going to suggest that maybe, like I say, look, it was kind of my fault. Shit went south because we were just there, like looking for an arm, and then he found out like I'm Kerry Eurodine's kid and went crazy because he's going to know he's a Kerry Eurodine freak, right? He doesn't like Chrome Break, so maybe that'll get us on his good side. But aside from that, I'm here as muscle, dude. Like this is your play. You need me to talk? Give me a nudge. You know I can talk, right? I know we joke about it, but you know I can. You know I can do it.
No, you can. I know you can.
If you need me to step in, I can do. I've got your back. Shit, it's the fan in there. We bail. And again, plan B is I go back to corporate contacts. I go back to Jyzelle. I get a fix on where Arata is, and we plug the motherfucker. All right. But plan A, let's get in here. Let's find out where. Let's find out what the metalhead's doing, where they're doing it, and then we crash that party and we blame it all on Arata. And if we can in this, let's get Arata some heat with Maelstrom too, because they are not gonna like this guy.
It's the plan, June. But I definitely think we need to compact, and yeah, I probably am going to lean on you on the talking because, yeah,
okay.
As you know, talking is not my strong suit. But one thing I am going to do, GM, if I have enough time, if I don't have already, I'm going to bring some Blue Lace Plus as a nice peace offering.
Oh yeah, if you don't come with it, I would be worried for you.
Are you making the good shit like the top shelf?
I'm trying to make the best Blue Lace Plus I've ever made.
Get them as high as you can, dude. Because if this goes south, we're gonna want them stumbling around and fucking. Yeah, everyone partakes.
Okay, so you get
Heisenberg moment, man.
You get a text message with the location. It is a depot in Night City's urban area. I'm sorry, in the Night City's industrial area. And this is like an old combat zone that was converted into gang territory, basically. So it's still basically a combat zone, but the police do occasionally go through there. But this is definitely Maelstrom territory. It's heavy Maelstrom territory. Okay. So it's up to you if you want to go.
So we get in trouble. No one's coming. The cavalry is not coming over the nearest hill, like at all. You know what, dude? Like, I vote we go, but if you don't want to, this is your stuff we're putting on the line. If you don't want to, I completely understand. Like, it's fine.
As I always say, Theodore, devour the world before it devours you.
All right, let's hit that glass ceiling, tune. Let's do it. All right, I'm guessing we're going to take the metro because none of us have vehicles.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
No, we still don't have a car.
They're expensive, man.
They are expensive. I don't know how.
Paddy for a loan.
We could steal one, but I don't know. That sounds like a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the metro.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say the metro ride is going to be pretty uneventful. It's not too far from where you are, so you're not going to be on the metro for too long. It does drop you off at the end of the city. Okay. So there are, some times where you have to maneuver yourself through the city streets, and there are some vagrants that you have to deal with, but it's nothing that you haven't dealt with before. And for the most part, you make it out just fine. And you arrive at the Maelstrom depot, and outside of it, you see a bunch of heavily armed Maelstrom just waiting for you guys. You can put your minis anywhere over here.
Okay.
My mini's very big.
Yeah, I'll make it a little smaller.
Can I make mine smaller?
Yeah.
How do I do it?
The minus symbol. Or minus plus. Okay. Yeah, like that.
Scale. Here we go.
Yeah, you just press plus or minus on your keyboard, the one right by your backspace.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get some light here.
That'll do. Oh yeah, look, this is like a fucking movie, dude. This is how do you play role-playing games without?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Roll20 is not going to do it for me anymore.
Yeah.
You can never go back now.
No, you
No.
can't. All right, so you guys show up at this depot, and they're all heavily armed. Their weapons are trained to you. And right here is Steely. And even though his mini's pointing his gun at you, he's not actually pointing his gun at you. And he says, he whispers something to his boss. His boss, Heavyset, is who you're assuming that is, nods his head, and then he walks up to you guys and he says, hey, I hope you brought some blue lace.
I got it right here, Stu. Like, and do I have it in like a rucksack? Like a no, like I want
You
to.
got it. It's in a case. It's a nice big case.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm the muscle, so
That's
yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
right here, Stu.
All right,
Go.
he takes the case and he goes, all right, I'll be right back. And he heads over to the boss, and they kind of turn around. They look at it. The boss looks at it, puts his cyber finger in there, takes a lick, nods his head. Okay. And he turns around and he says, all right, which one of you chooms flatlined Chrome Break?
That would be a friend of ours who isn't here right now. Some sick capoeira moves though, dude. You should have seen it. Yeah, we tried to leave his club, and he wouldn't have any of it. So it came to blows. I'm sure you guys would have done the same if somebody wasn't letting you leave the premises, right? Especially a guy like you, you'd have knocked his fucking head off. So, yeah, unfortunately, he's not here right now.
You see a visible look of disappointment in his face. And he turns around and looks at Steely and he says, I thought you said you were going to bring some of the chooms that killed Chronebreak, not his friends.
Oh, we were there, Tune. We killed plenty who were there, but yeah, we didn't kill. I took a few shots at Chronebreak myself. Maybe blew out a few of his nipples. But yeah, the final blow was a friend of mine, but he's on another job right now.
You see a Heavyset turn around and he starts handing his pistol to this guy. He hands his jacket to this guy. He hands other weapons to this guy. Then he turns around and looks at you two and he says, all right, one of you's gonna fight me.
All right, I step forward and, are you sure you want to do this, Tune? Like, I mean,
Theodore, how good is your hand to hand?
pretty good.
Too late to find out now. He said he'd do it.
Oh, no.
Pretty good.
Now,
It's his message, man. I don't think he's gonna kill me. I'm banking on him not killing me because, like, you know.
Okay.
I mean, you can roll a streetwise to see what this tradition is.
I'd want to see what his intentions are. Yeah. So I'm gonna. If his intentions are bad, then I probably wouldn't. Why am I on boards? There we go. Then I'd probably
10.
be like
10, yeah.
I should have saved that.
So, Board, with your dealings with the Maelstrom, you know how they work. They work in power. Okay, power is
King.
Yeah, power is king with the Maelstrom. So a lot of times they only respect people that can fight. So this is just his way of going, like, you know, he's probably like, look, if I'm going to work with the guys that killed one of our lieutenants, then they have to at least be badasses, you know. And I can say, like, Chronebreak, you know, was a wimp. He was not cut from the same cloth as us, but this guy is.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So I did a 15, so I'm guessing I got the same memo.
Yeah, you understand what this is.
I'm gonna take my jacket off. Right. Give me 1 second, Tube. 1 sec. It's a new jacket. Right, fucking come at me. Let's do this.
He puts his hands behind his back and he says, I'll let you have the first hit, Choom.
Absolutely. I'm coming at you.
So
I'm going right for him.
What kind of attack are you using? There's two ways you can do hand-to-hand combat, either martial arts or brawling.
Brawling. I'm gonna brawl. I'm gonna go straight up to him and just beat the shit out of him.
Okay. So brawling is a skill. He is choosing not to evade, so you're automatically going to hit.
So 13.
Now, the damage you do with brawling has to do with your body stat.
Okay, so I got a 20.
Okay, 20. Yeah, you absolutely hit him. He's just letting you hit him. So we got to roll. Let me see how many d6 your brawling is. What's your body stat?
My body is
8.
Where is 8?
Okay, so I believe you do 4d6. Okay, I gotta look it up.
Right.
Theodore is definitely more muscular than Doc is.
Yeah, let's see here.
New Cyberpunk dice. Woo!
Why can't I find anything in this book ever? Please.
The GM's curse. You never find what you're looking for. Oh, nice, man.
It's a chart that tells you if your body is this, your brawling is that. I think it's 3d6, but it could be 4d6.
Shall we roll for it?
Yeah. I want you to roll your damage. But I just want to
1, 2,
know.
3, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 4.
Wait, I got it. 8, it's 3d6. Okay. It's 3d6.
3d6, there we go.
Yeah, so roll me 3d6.
Ready? That is 13.
Oh, nice.
All right, with a 13, you smack him across the face, and you see him like stumble for a second. He adjusts his jaw, and he says, "Okay, okay, I like that. But now it's my turn, Choom."
Get my jacket back on. All right, well now we've got that over with. That's
Now he's going to swing at you. Do you let him hit you, or are you going to try to evade?
With my streetwise roll of 15, well, I know if he'll be more impressed if I just let him do it.
Yeah, you know he'll be more impressed, but you know you could get really badly hurt.
Okay. I mean,
Doc quickly grabs the aviators before he hits and takes it off his face.
I'm just gonna let him do it.
All right.
Honorable merc on merc. Let's do it.
He sees you put your hands behind your back, and he raises an eyebrow, and he smirks, and he says, "All right, Choom." And he does 14 damage.
Alrighty.
That's
not too bad.
Yeah, he uppercuts you in the abdomen as hard as he can, and you take 3 damage because of your SP11. And you see a part of your armor jack just rip and crack. And if you have any cyberware, it malfunctions for a second. But roll me a resist torture drugs.
Ooh, not rolled that before. Where's that? I'm not even seeing that.
It should be.
It's under body skills.
Yeah.
It's just above stealth.
Yeah, 7. So here we go. That is 15.
Okay, you don't even flinch. You take it in the stomach. You make a short sound as the wind just comes out of you, but you keep his gaze and you look straight into his eyes, and he just starts laughing, belly laughing. Ah, ha, ha. All right. I like this guy.
Thank you.
All right. Open the doors. Put your guns away. Come on in. And he lets you guys into the depot.
Doc gives his aviators back to Theodore and taps him on the back and says, "Well done. Nice."
Thanks, man.
And then you see the rest of these Maelstrom guys. They're laughing and joking, and they disperse. They put their guns away. And they're just going to do their own thing. It's no longer a hostile environment. You're invited in there. They know exactly who you are. And now your reputation remains the same with the Maelstrom, but it has a different flavor.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Instead
Nice.
of being known for what happened, you're known for destroying a boss that they didn't like and being impressing another boss that they do like.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Nice, Theodore.
So yeah,
My appendix somewhere.
yeah, you guys just like shoot the shit, and Heavyset kind of shows you the inside of the warehouse, and he shows you all these trucks are filled with different materials that get moved around Night City, and they're kind of just showing you the operation and all that small talk. But then Heavyset looks at you and he says, "Now I know you didn't just come here to give me a bunch of blue lace and start a little business with me, which I do understand is a lucrative business for both of us. But speaking to Steely, there's something you want that I have, and what is it?"
Doc,
You want
do
to
you want to take it
know?
from here? I can jump in.
You want to know who gave you that false Militech job?
Yeah, lost a lot of good chooms on that one. 4 of them to be exact. The Valentinos knew we were coming, and there wasn't a Militech truck in sight.
Yeah, same person who screwed up the nightclub. Same guy.
Barn Owl.
Oh
The
no,
very same
but
tune.
we know his real name.
Yeah, because that's the only name that we know, and the only person that knew him was Chromebreak.
Okay.
We
sorry,
are
go on.
in a similar position. We want to. Sorry, you can go north.
Nope, I'm good.
He's like, wait, I don't have social
wanna-
skills.
We want to, shall we say, ruin his life. We need a target. We know who he's working with. We just need a good target to maximize damage. And if you're willing to work with us and give us information on that, we're happy to tell you who he is.
We're fully aware, Tume, that Maelstrom's style is to rip his fucking head off. And whilst, I'm totally on board with that, and I respect you guys, what you do, I want to do this streetwise. I want to take this guy, ruin his rep, and put him on the street. I want to let Night City do the rest. Let the rats feed on him. That's what he is. He's a bottom feeder, and he should be down there with them. We want targets to hit Tume.
So wait, you're not gonna rip him to pieces?
Once he's on the street, he's yours to do with as you will. He'll have no more backup. You can stroll in there. You can take him. You can put him in one of these back of these vans and entertain him for weeks if you want. And he'll have no backup when we're finished with him. No Corp in Night City is going to want to touch this guy. No Merc's going to come to help him if his rep is ruined. If we go after one of his businesses, we take it for all that it's got. We show people that he can't protect their interests. Dude, let me ask you, what would you do with somebody who couldn't protect your interests, who showed you that they weren't reliable? Right? That's what we want to do to him.
Well, we operate a little bit differently over here in our organization. We have this big machine. It's called the grinder. You know what I mean? We put a lot of heavy equipment into it. It breaks it up into little pieces. Every now and then, if we have somebody we don't like, we throw them into the machine and have a little party and see what happens. I think I'd like to put Barn Owl into one of those.
Oh, I'm down for that. However you want to spend your Saturday night is your business, Jim.
All right, Barn Owl.
We don't want to kill him because as soon as you must know, Mercs killing fixers is a bad look for the street. We got a rep to maintain, but you guys, you're not bound by those laws.
Yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying now. If you flatline him, you have a bad reputation with the other fixers. But us, we flatline him and nobody bats an eye. Okay, I see where you're coming from. Tell me more. Who is this Barn Owl? What's his real name? Who does he work for?
Doc?
Arata.
Arata.
He's working with the metalheads, who both of them seem to be in business with a corp named Fujian Corporations. We're not sure exactly what their end goal.
Metalheads. They sound familiar, but They're not on my radar.
They're connected to the metal vultures. Is that it? Metal vultures. He looks at Theodore. Metal vultures.
Yeah. Those bastards. Yeah, they like to copy our style, is what I like to say, but they do it in a different way. They're a little bit more sadistic than us, which is, a lot to say, because, like I said, the grinder is one of our favorite things. But Fuji-san, I've heard that corp before. Steely, where'd I hear that corp before? Boss, this is the same corporation that tried to work with you a few weeks ago, remember? They said they had a job. Oh, yeah. Is that the corporate fixer that we flatlined? Yeah, boss, they weren't very happy about that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I just didn't like the way that he came up to us and was like, hey, you want to work with me? I don't even know you, Choom. Why would I want to work with you? And he just looked
Totally
like
disrespectful.
looked like a little pencil neck, not like you guys. All right.
Yeah.
A piece of garbage.
Yeah. Now, Arata. Now that sounds real familiar. Arata. Wait a minute. Don't tell me he's connected to the Tiger Claws.
Are the very same tune.
So a Tiger Claw got a bunch of us flatline, shot up our nightclub, and killed one of our lieutenants.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Excuse me. And he walks towards this truck over here, and with his power fist, he just blasts a punch into the side door of this truck, shattering the window, denting in the door. I mean, it's completely destroyed. And you even see the truck just lift for a second and start bobbing as it finally levels.
Yeah, he pulled that punch into my solar plexus. I'm getting a feeling he pulled that one. More than anything else.
He comes back and he says, all right, useful information. The problem is now I really want to kill him, so you're going to have to convince me not to do that.
Well, I'm not going to try and convince you of anything, dude. Like, we're gonna take his business from him. We're gonna put him on the street. We're gonna ruin his rep in front of everybody. And then what happens to him from there is completely up to you.
You don't want him to be fast.
Do anything.
I could have shot him ages ago. He was in my scope. But he needs to know he's wronged you. He can't have it over so quickly. He needs to watch his life crumble before his eyes. He needs to regret every day that he messed with your organization, with your guys.
By the time you do kill him, he'll just shrug and accept it because his life's so shit anyway. He's ready for it.
He'll be begging for you to kill him. It'll be way more satisfying.
Yeah, you're talking about the ultimate humiliation. Not only is he flatlined, but his reputation is dirt too. Okay. Yeah, see, this is why...
And them guys will
Go ahead.
They'll know never to mess with you again. No other fixer's going to pull this stuff with you ever again.
Especially no Tiger Claws. Okay. I see the vision. I like it. And I don't like the metal vultures, that's for sure. So if he is working with them, then I'd want to find out. Why don't you guys hang out for a minute or two? I'm going to make a phone call.
Sweet. No problem.
He pulls out a cooler filled with Smash, which is Cyberpunk Red's version of beer on steroids.
Oh, yeah. I'm one of those.
Opens up the cooler, you guys are welcome to partake from it. As he goes and uses his internal agent, you see him click a button on the back of his head, and then he just crosses his arms and he's having a conversation over here on the corner. Started making phone calls, talking, blah, blah, blah. Is there anything you guys do while he's making these phone calls?
No, I take a bottle and just, a few sips just to make sure I'm one of the guys. Like to know I'm on the level.
Okay. Okay. So you
Doc
guys...
is
Go ahead.
looking around, and any Maelstrom guys that haven't come to his operating room for new chrome or something, he'll talk them up and try and see hey, maybe I can do something for you. I got this new cyberware that's coming in. You know, that arm could be a little less better. The guy that put it in didn't give you the full treatment.
Yeah, and
Dude, you have the World Eaters thing on your shoulder? That's badass. I didn't see that.
Yep.
As you would know, though, Theodore, when you first asked about the Lumino tattoo he has on his shoulder, his philosophy is devour the world before it devours you.
Man. Absolutely.
I like that.
Also, why I'm wearing this over here.
Yeah. Can you tell he likes the world eaters? All right. After a minute or 5 minutes, Heavyset comes back and he says, all right, I needed to make some phone calls because I needed to jog my memory. When that pencil neck from Fujisan came by, I told you I didn't like the cut of his jib, and he annoyed me with all his talking. So I had to silence him. But before I silenced him, he was talking about some kind of grand alliance between a couple of gangs and me. I didn't even hear what gangs he was talking about because, you know, Maelstrom, we don't make alliances, all right? We work for ourselves, all right? We value power, and if we work with somebody that doesn't have the same kind of power as us, then they're not worth anything, Choom. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
So before I put his crumpled mess of a body into the gutter, he was telling me that he wanted me to get together with my bosses and try to work something out to make an alliance with some other gangs. Now, what they wanted us to do and why, I don't know, and I don't care. But that's the gist of what I know about Fujisan. They're going around and courting other gangs and trying to see if they can get them together.
Okay. All right. So we don't have any. I'm not saying this to him. We don't have any more concrete information on Arata himself. We just got more Gestalt information on the current situation.
Well, there is a skill that can help you piece together this information. I just forgot what it's called. I think it's called investigation. But let me double check.
There's deduction.
Deduction.
I don't know if this is something
That's the
deduce.
one.
Okay.
Deduction.
I got levels in that.
Roll your deduction.
Oh, natural 10.
Absolutely.
I roll again. That's 15 plus 22.
All right.
Together.
And what do you got, Board?
I got 14.
Okay. So with the 14, you're kind of putting it together, but nothing new is really coming of it. But Theo, you're finally realizing like all the pieces are coming together for you. They're basically hiring Arata to take the place of the guy that just got killed by these Maelstrom guys, the pencil neck corporate fixer.
Right.
So they have a position that needed to be filled. Arata just did a huge gig where he made a bunch of money, made a big splash for himself, and he appeared on their radar. So for whatever reason, they're giving him this new assignment. Bring together some gangs.
Can I text Helena?
Yeah.
I'm going to text her the information like that I just heard. In fact, I'm going to be polite to the Maelstrom guys because sorry, I'm just going to relay that to one of our team to see if I can get some more information on Arata. And I text her. I text her the information, and I say, I need info on any fixer or agent who's putting together a alliance between different booster gangs to get them all underneath of Fujisan's umbrella. Also, are you free next Friday?
Of course.
Helena says, I'll gather as much information as I can. We know that the Metal Vultures, as you said, are possibly working with Arata. Any other gangs we're not privy to. and I seem to be busy all next week and the week after that and the week after that.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Can't blame a guy for shooting his shot.
Yep.
All right. So okay, with that, I'm gonna leave her with that information. See if she can come back with anything, because obviously she's gonna be doing stuff off screen if she is gonna do anything. So I just come back to Doc and say, well, I gave Helena the info. We'll see what she comes up with. But I'm pretty sure that Arata is now this corporate guy. Like, he's stepping in his shoes, man. I say to, well, what's the main guy's name here?
The main guy's heavy set.
Heavy set.
Heavy set.
Heavy set. I think the guy we're going after is taking the place of the guy you murked. I think they're setting him up to be that guy.
You really think so?
Yeah, it's pissing me off. Like, do you know what? I almost want him to get the job so he comes in here and tries to recruit you guys again. He can end up in that fucking grinder.
Nah,
But,
he knows better than that. If I had to guess, he's using his Tiger Claw background as one of the other gangs to make an alliance with. That's what he'd probably be doing. He already works with the Tiger Claws. He'd get them in, rope them in. You know that the Metal Vultures are involved. There's a third or fourth or fifth gang that we don't know about.
Hang on, Tiger Claws. You're right. You're right. Like, dude, I know people at Tiger Claws. I've worked for them. I'm gonna go on my phone, on my agent, and scroll through anybody that Akari knew. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna just call out of the blue. Let's call one of them Jin. Right? I'm gonna call Jin. I'm gonna be like, okay, Akari's friend, Jin. Bang. I'm gonna put it on my phone.
Okay.
Call him.
Does Jin know you?
Yeah, because we've been on Akari. He's one of Akari's best friends, and I thought he was like a romantic rival for a while, and it turns out he's not quite into ladies. So like, we got on like house on fire, and yeah. So basically, he knows me. I know him. We're not seeing each other for a while, but yeah, we're on good terms.
Okay. He picks up the phone. Dio-san, how are you?
Hey, Jin, my man, how's it going? How are you? Dude, I missed you. It sucks to call under these circumstances, but I need some info, dude. I need some info. But before you jump on my ass for only calling when I need something, it's info that will let me go after Arata.
All right.
That's why I'm calling.
All right. Hey, you said a name that really triggered me, so just give me a second here. Let me take a deep breath.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right, so how are we killing him?
All right. I need to know specifically what kind of deals are going down between a corporate liaison, the Tiger Claws, and the Metalheads. I need to know who is setting that up and where his signs of business are around the place. Because that is Arata.
You're close, Choom. You're closer than you thought. You're so close, you're on Arata's neck vein.
Really?
Now, this is information that I never thought would get out there, but hey, look at you. Investigating and finding out things. Yeah, Arata came by. Arata spoke to our boss at Tiger Claw East. And he's brokering some kind of deal between the Metal Vultures, the Tiger Claws, and also some other nomad group called the Hecate Ring. I'm typing it in chat here. Hecate Ring.
Hecate Ring.
If you guys want to roll me a Streetwise.
Will do. I am plus 4. Oh no, that was bored. I was like, well, why am I plus 4? Ugh. No, it's
keep looking at my characters. You want to play Doc?
11. Alrighty.
Not great.
1. I deserve that. Yeah, so no Streetwise for me. 12. And another D10. Not that's going to do anything, but we'll
It's
see.
going to ruin your life. That's what it's going to do. So you're at an 8.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't ring a bell. You don't really know about them. Board, what did you get?
I think I rolled 4 plus 4, 8.
Yeah, you guys never heard of them, don't know who they are, don't know anything about them. So, that's about it. But yeah, as far as the rest of your conversation with Jin goes, yeah, for some reason, Arata is untouchable right now. He's a big man on campus walking around like his shit don't stink. And it really bothers me. You know what I mean? But the boss said what the boss said. We can't do anything. And we got to entertain whatever idea he's got right now because he's working with Fuji-san.
Well, I'm telling you, if you lean into what I want, I'm going to take him down a peg or two, and he may not even be an issue for you anymore. And what's more, we can wipe him off the board without it ever getting back to any of us.
Okay, hold on. You hear him like walking away, going to like another part of the room or somewhere else, somewhere more private. And he says, all right, listen. Supposedly there's supposed to be a big meeting between the 3 bosses and Arata, okay? They're meeting somewhere. I don't know exactly where yet. Location hasn't been disclosed. But they're going to have a meeting, and Arata's going to be diplomat to all 3 gangs and try to bring them together. Fuji-san has worked with the Tiger Claws before, okay? I've done a few gigs with them. They just give us a location, tell us to cause chaos, or do something to divert city resources into that area so Big Papa Arasaka can have whatever agenda they need.
Okay.
So maybe they're giving Arata a chance to do something like that.
Do you know where this meeting's going to be?
No, but we will know shortly. We're supposed to all go guns blazing, ready to go.
All right. So I'm guessing, from what you just told me, you'll be causing a ruckus somewhere else, and the meeting will take place in another location with no eyes.
Well, the idea is we're supposed to coordinate with these other 2 gangs, the Hecate Ring and the Metal Vultures. Now, the Metal Vultures we know about, who doesn't know about them? They're basically kind of like the Maelstrom, a little bit more sadistic and weird, and that's what makes them dangerous. The Hecate Ring, yeah, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what they are and what their motives are, but they're a city nomad group. Now, as soon as they say city nomad, you guys recognize what that is. Traditional nomads hang out outside of city limits. Like if you're used to the game, the Aldecados, you have to leave the city and go see them. But city nomads, on the other hand, live within the city, and they live in the underground, like the sewers or abandoned buildings or something like that. But they are ingrained in the city just like any booster gang, except their philosophy is a little bit different than a gang's. They really truly are a family. But what the Hecate Ring does in Night City as a nomad family is unknown to you.
Okay.
So yeah, we're supposed to all 3 get together, kumbaya, have some kind of talk about our next op, and if Arata can get us all to agree, then we'll be in business, and I believe that will be his success on the Fujisan Corp side.
Can you just give me a second, Jin? Just give me a second.
You got a second, Jun?
I gotta discuss this. So I put him on silent. Doc.
What's up?
I have an idea, but it might mean pissing off the Tiger Claws. One way we can make these guys make Arata look really, really bad. What if the Maelstrom hit that meeting?
That is an option.
Because they're gonna want to do it anyway. Like they're already out for blood. They hate this guy. They've been had. They've lost one of their lieutenants. They've lost face. They've got to get that back. And if I can obviously keep Jin and a few of the more level-headed Tiger Claws away from that meeting, then they can hit it and wipe them all out. And
that
then,
is one option.
we crash the actual meeting, and we set up a feed to that meeting, and we show them how Arata fucked up, and then we leave.
Okay, just let me get this straight, GM. So they're having a meeting while their crews, 3 crews are going to mess up something. So they're simultaneously happening.
No.
I
So
thought
the meeting is
Yeah.
to see if they can go do that kind of operation. So
Alright. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Fujisan basically is told our Arata, we had a corporate fixer that failed, so you're filling in for them. If you can do what they couldn't do, then we will, give you a promotion within our corporation. We'll bring you in to the big kids table a little bit more. You can stand in the room with us while we're having our meetings. And that's a big upgrade for Arata. Huge upgrade. It's already a big upgrade for him, so he really wants to prove himself. This corporate fixer tried to get the Maelstrom involved and failed. Arata is using whatever resources he can. He knows the Tiger Claws, so that's locked in. The other 2 gangs, maybe he does know them, maybe he has worked with them, you have no idea.
So on specifics, location A, the big boys are sitting down with Arata, the bosses. Location B, the gangs are getting together to have a powwow and to basically circle jerk.
Yeah, but location A has to succeed before location B will ever happen.
Yeah, so it's not simultaneous.
No,
Right.
It's not some. It's this is like the meeting to see if it can actually work.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
What we need, Theodore, we need that meeting not to go well. We either need that meeting to get stormed by Maelstrom. That's one option. Another option is you tell your guy, if he happens to be at that meeting, that there is going to be a sniper shot at one of his comrades. Doesn't have to be lethal. It can be near the body. And he needs to react accordingly, firing at the gang that he believes it's coming from. Hell will break out. Arata will seem as useless, and he can't bring it together, and he'll be cut loose, and all 3 gangs will hate him.
All right, that's such a good plan. I say we roll with that. Okay. Are we wanting to take Maelstrom with us? Give them an in here?
I don't think it might be a good idea. So we can have one plan as they go and storm the place. The other plan is more covert, and it should be just you and me. Because as much as Maelstrom are great, they're a bit of a loose cannon. And next thing...
They are.
They want to get in, and we need them to think, these other gangs, that it's someone wasn't on the up and up, and they cannot be trusted. And I think the best way is one shot that matters, and let the tension and the mistrust handle the rest.
Okay, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go back on the call with Jin. All right, Jin. I've had an idea, Jim, and you tell me if it's batshit crazy or whether you can pull this off. So Arata is setting up this deal between the vultures, the Tiger Claws, and the Nomads. If he gets this off the ground, he's going to be untouchable. He's now going to go. He's going to be promoted beyond our reach. We can't let that happen. I have a very, very dependable friend who is also, shall we say, a wizard with a sniper rifle. At this meeting, the boss of the Tiger Claws, who will be there, is going to take a sniper round.
Oh my God, June. Oh my God. What are you talking about, June? What are you even saying to me?
Let me finish. It's going to be non-lethal, right? Or even nearby. But I'm giving you that heads up so you can get in the way. And then I want you to point at one of the other gangs there, whichever one you want it to be, and accuse them of doing the sniper shot. All hell breaks loose. You get the hell out of there. You probably get a promotion because you threw yourself in the way of a shot that was never going to hit anyway. All right? And we make Arata look like a piece of shit. Once everybody clears out, we follow Arata, and we're not going to clip him, but let's just say, he'll get what's his.
All right, Chum. I just want you to know that who you're talking about here, this Tiger Claw boss, is a boss of Tiger Claw East, the Lantern. All right. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he is a rage master, a berserker. Okay, if you get him angry, he's gonna be far more dangerous, and I don't want to be standing next to him when he's angry. So, I don't know what plan you have, but shooting him is not a good idea.
Okay.
Could be just taking one of his guys. Doesn't even need to be him.
Now, do you guys want to roll a streetwise? Teddy, I'm gonna give you a +2 since you know Tiger Claws.
So streetwise, that'll be 13 plus. 21.
Okay. All right. So Doc, you've heard of the Tiger Claws East. You know they have a boss. You don't really know too much about him, but Teddy, you know about Kenzo Lantern Ozeki. He's kind of insufferable. He speaks in ancient proverbs. Here, I'm gonna put his.
Most he does.
He speaks in ancient proverbs, and everybody just pretends like he's like a wise man when he speaks. But a lot of times he just says like nonsense. But the whole thing is like you don't really want to get him angry because he has a bio monitor hooked up to him, and anytime he rages and gets more angry, the vibro katana that he uses vibrates faster, and it becomes like a hot knife through butter when he really rages. It's just like his style. He calls it using the Hado, an ancient art of using your energies for combat. And he says that it's all connected to that. So like anger is a tool for him. But really what that means is he's made an excuse for his temper tantrums.
So I'm going to say to Jin, yeah, Jin, I had no idea that guy would be there. I'm sorry for even bringing that up. That's a stupid idea. I'll tell you what. You know who's going to be at that meeting? Cherry pick somebody. Give me a name. Cherry pick somebody who can be a fall guy. We're not going to kill him. We're going to shoot at him, on him, near him, right? Maybe in his cyberware. You know, you jump in front of that. You know, it can be somebody high up. You jump in front of that. You get all the credit for saving his life. Then you point out who you think did it. All hell breaks loose. We swoop in.
Well, Chum, I can't believe I'm about to say this, okay? I can't believe I'm about to say this, okay? All right, Chum, just shoot me. I'm gonna be there. Just shoot me. Shoot me with a non-lethal round or something, or just make it look real. I don't know. Hit me somewhere where it's not gonna hurt. I hope your friend knows exactly where to hit me where it won't hurt too much. And then
I just look at Doc. I'm just like, okay, alrighty. I mean, I can promise you that it's not going to hurt a bit. Well, I can't promise that. It's going to hurt like a bitch. But like, you're not gonna die. Jin, you know me, all right? We know each other really well. This is for Akari, okay? I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you. Well, beyond getting shot. Beyond that, I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you.
Yeah,
So,
I can't believe you're roping me into this.
I've roped you into stupid stuff in the past. So we do that. What's really important that you do when the shot comes in is that you point to the gang that you want to set everything off with. You point to them, say these motherfuckers or something like that. You know, they're taking shots at us, okay? And make sure that you're standing or you throw yourself in front of somebody important. I want you to get some stuff out of this, Doom. Don't just take a shot for nothing. Throw yourself in front of somebody important. Say there's a sniper, there's a gunner, something, right? You take the shot, you go down, you point out the gang you think did it, all hell breaks loose, and your part in this is done. Then it's up to us, okay? All you've got to do is accept your promotion.
All right, listen. This is my idea, all right? We'll be on comms. Before you take the shot, you're going to let me know. I'll dive in front of the boss, and I'll tell him, it's a setup. You shoot me, okay? And if the other gangs see that Arata is setting up his own allies, the Tiger Claws, then he has even worse intentions for them. Because remember, he has to be in charge of security there. He can't let anything like that go down. Wherever we're meeting, he's got to have security there, and security has to be tight for it to go off.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Jin. All right, let's do it your way. You send me the location when you find out, and we'll be on comms, and we'll get through this.
All right. I'll keep you in the loop, and don't make me regret this.
When have I ever made you regret anything?
Oh, Theo. Bye. Hangs up.
I put the phone down. I say to Doc, all right, so I relay to him the plan. How does that sound? Does that sound good?
By the way, quickly,
do this?
did you guys leave this Maelstrom hangout? Are you doing all this in front of them?
We're just, I just walked away over to here to like have a phone call on my own, like I said I was going to do before.
I would have joined them.
So, like, can you do this? Because this is a good friend of mine. Like, can you do this?
It's going to be a difficult shot, but I'm pretty lucky, and I practice every day.
No, you're not. Like, that's like this is you're the opposite of lucky, Doc. Look, I've known you for a long time. Like, you deserve all the luck in the world, man. You work your ass off. You're a good doctor, and you're a better sniper, but you're not lucky. Fuck luck. Luck is for losers. I need you to be good, not lucky.
Okay.
That was my inner child voice.
Yeah, okay.
Saying okay. Okay.
What do you think?
I believe in myself. I can do it.
All right.
I'm going to hit him right here. Through and through.
Through and through.
It needs to be a real shot. I can't have it them seeing it's a fake bullet.
No, it's got to be. He said, do a fake bullet, but he doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. Jin's more of an intelligence guy. He's a net runner. Like he doesn't know anything about guns.
I'm just letting you know, and it's gonna hurt because I heard something about it's not gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
No, I told him it was gonna hurt. Like he's getting shot. Like, but it's gonna. It'll be $1 million shot, man. $1 million Eddie shot. He's gonna wake up tomorrow with a promotion. I hope.
So as you guys, when you guys get off the phone, Heavyset walks towards you guys and he says, "All right, well, update."
Yeah, we're gonna go on. There is a meeting going down that he's setting up. We're gonna go sabotage that meeting. We're going to put him on the street, and then I'm going to follow him, give you guys his location, and you're going to come pick him up.
Oh, okay. All right. So you'll let us know where he is, and then we'll put him in the grind. Yeah. You'll let us put him in the grinder, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't give a shit what happens to him. So we're going to ruin his rep, ruin it in front of everybody, let everybody on the street know who did it and why, and then you guys can partake in your festivities, and even then,
you're letting it.
What better?
Daryl, you sure you want it to be so soon? You don't want it to let it stew for a few days?
Listen, these are our valued clients and friends. I can't deprive them of their entertainment.
I wasn't depriving them. I was just saying pick him up when he's penniless on the street.
Do you know what? How about this? How about this, Heavyset? I'll call you when he's ready to be picked up. You call me when you're ready to do the pick. How's that?
Deal, Chum.
I mean, you can savor it. You can look on the scream sheet. You can picture him squirming for as long as you want. Then I'll give you the location whenever you're ready.
I like it, Chum. I like it. I like exactly what you're telling me. You go do what you need to do. You let me know when you're ready, and we'll come with hell to pay.
Alrighty, absolutely, I will do. I'm gonna head out and say thank you for Heavyset, and thank you for the lesson. I'm sure I'm gonna carry her around for a couple of weeks at least. I might pat my stomach.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, so Jin tells you about a place called the Lung. All right, it's an
Oh,
old, basically scrubber for Night City. What it did was it would scrub pollution from Night City, but it got so overloaded as the population increased, and the city just could not maintain it over time. And now it's just basically an abandoned facility. But what's important about this place is there's only one way in and one way out. And Jin lets you know about the location, exactly where it's going to be, what time it's going to be. It's going to be at 1 a.m. All right. They want to make sure that there aren't too many people out on the street and everybody's meeting at the Lung. The Arata has asked everybody to come lightly armed, no heavy weapons, no heavy cyberware, or no heavy armor, and come as light as possible, and maybe one or two bodyguards, and that's about it.
Doc, I'm thinking we get there beforehand rather than trying to sneak into an active.
I'm thinking the same
meeting.
thing.
So maybe we get there
I'm
way
thinking the same
before,
thing.
like 6-7
Yeah.
hours before,
Definitely.
and find somewhere to hide.
Okay.
Um,
All right. You can do just that. The only thing is, as you guys arrive, you see two familiar faces hanging out outside the entrance of the Lung.
of course.
Looks
Okay.
like Arata has hired Viper and Barracuda.
John, GM,
Yes.
would I have any Tiger Claw get up from back in the day?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's easy to get that
Um,
kind of stuff.
I'm going to stuff that in a rucksack, and that's going to be on my back. I'm going to get changed, and my plan is to, I'm going to say this to Doc as well, you'll be on the gantry, I'll be on the floor. I look like a Tiger Claw guy, because I was a Tiger Claw guy, right? So I can get in around here. I don't have any rep with them right now, so I can just stand at the back, monitor what's going on.
All
But
right.
won't you recognize? Want Arata see you?
No, I'll stay out of his line of sight. Be fine. Yeah, he's going to have more other things on his plan than fucking Theo Uridine, let's be honest.
It looks to you that
Oh, dude, like,
Arata has hired Viper and Barracuda to hang out by the front entrance to make sure that people don't sneak in beforehand.
Okay. So I know them, so I can either speak to them. They don't like Arata either. Like, they're not supposed to be working with him anymore. Like, after what he pulled last time, what the hell?
Yeah, but he has new money now.
He does have new money now. Okay. Are there any other ways in? Like, can we have no. Then again, Jin is a net runner. I'm gonna text him and say, do you have any schematics of the building available? There's two goons on the door.
Two schematics. Shit. Hold on, let me see what I can do. Jin pulls up some schematics from City Hall, and you can see that the only real way in is through a maintenance tunnel, and that leads to an entrance to the lab, to the biolab. Basically, this is where like they have all these big containers filled with liquids that scrub all the pollution and send it back out as clean air. But it's all filled with algae and as it's been sitting there for years without maintenance. There is another way in on the maintenance on the air duct system, but what's in the air duct system is usually like industrial grade fans that are spinning.
Yeah.
Who knows if they're still spinning? Who knows if some are not? But it's definitely kind of dangerous.
Okay. So there's two ways in. One of them is more dangerous, and the other one is very uncertain. Okay. I'm going to say thanks, June, and I text him back. Go ahead, Doc.
GM,
Yes.
I would have just asked, is it possible with my Nomad long rifle, is it possible to buy and attach a silencer on that?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
I would do that. I don't know how much it would cost because I don't want to fire a shot and they just immediately come to my location.
it would cost 500 eddies retail. And you can
We'll
have
split that
yourself one.
It's for our room. We'll split that 250 each.
Okay.
I'll chip in for that.
So for 500 eddies, you get a silencer. It gives you +1 to your surprise attacks, which means +1 to your stealth skill.
One to stealth skill.
And and past 50 meters, it's basically silent.
Okay. I don't know how to split this money.
Oh, here, just give it to me. I'll be the bank.
50, I think it's 300, I think.
So that's
I'm
300.
just keeping a note of mine. Mine's all.
And then, so I'll take
390.
one of your 100 and give you 250s.
Thanks, North. You didn't have to do that. I have quite a bit of cash, so. But appreciate it.
I'm guessing you can help me out with rent if the things shit hits the fan.
So
1,
Yeah,
250.
man. We've known each other a long time.
250 to the bank.
Whoa. Just give me the 50.
You need help there too?
Yeah, I've got 200 here. I've put
All right,
out, but there's just
1,
50 there, I wanna get out.
2. There's the. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Huh? There you go.
Yeah, the problem is they stack, so that's why it's acting weird. There it is. 50. 250. Got it.
Nice. Thank you.
All right. You buy it retail, and it fits right onto your weapon. And the salesperson definitely tells you, like, you're not going to use this for something nefarious, are you, Choom?
Have you ever heard of the Second Amendment?
Okay, all right. Relax, Choom.
Rights and keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Did even the taxis guns? What are you talking about? What's this guy even talking about? Okay, so like, okay, so I relay the information. I'm thinking, Doc, we go in through entrance numero uno, away from the fans, so we end up in the labs. I would try and talk to Viper and Barracuda, but like, even if they don't like Arata, that is a loose end, and it only takes one word from them, and we are fucked. So.
I would only try option 2 if we had our netrunner with us, and she's busy with other stuff.
Yeah.
So the plan is to go through the front door.
Oh, right. I thought there was another entrance. Okay, so again, we're going with the fans then. Yeah, I don't want to go past Barracuda.
Yeah, it's either the air duct fans or you go through Viper and Barracuda.
Air duct fans, they might not be on. This is shut down as a place, isn't it? It's not like active.
It's still dilapidated.
Oh.
Yeah, there could be some. It is connected to the city power, so things are just on. You know what I mean? But because they haven't been maintained, there's parts like that are shut down. Like some of the fans aren't spinning and stuff like that. But
I'm thinking, Doc, even if it means the fans are on, we can't get past. We've got enough time to just bug out and come through the front door if we need to.
Yeah.
Like,
I suppose so. That can be our last option.
Whatever. Yeah. All right, we'll do that. And if you're okay with that, Doc, we can push ahead.
okay, so yeah, this is an underground facility. So on street level is a maintenance hatch that gets you into the air duct system. Obviously, it's locked, so I need a electronic security check from you guys, unless you guys want to break the door. It's basically a red hatch on the past the sidewalk in between two buildings is a red hatch that says NCM, Night City Maintenance, and then it has a bunch of other numbers on it, and it's locked up.
I got a 9.
Oh,
I got a 10.
Perfect.
And I need to roll again. So that's 18 already. And I should have saved that roll for the shot, but yeah, that's 26.
Okay, with a 26, you see a padlock that locks up the hatch, and with a good strike from the butt of your rifle, you're able to shimmy the lock and actually break it a little bit. And after a little bit of movement and moving it around, 2-3 minutes later, you get this hatch open. Okay. Now, as you get the hatch open, you hear somebody walking around the corner. You can't see them, but you hear their footsteps going around the corner. So in just a moment, they're about to see you go through the hatch if you walk through it. What do you do?
Wait so hard for us.
Okay, guess we're going to step back, right?
Is there any way for us to hide?
It's an alleyway, so it's in between two buildings, you know what I mean? So you can just like slump up against the wall and try to hide. But if you're gonna hide, I need a stealth check from both of you.
Yeah, I'm going to hide.
Okay.
I'll grab
Hide
him
behind
there.
some dumpsters or something.
All
I don't want to use any of my luck. I need to save that for the shot.
I've got 14 in stealth. Jesus, come on.
Don't have. And I've just
18.
wasted my critical. I think that's 13.
13. Okay.
No, come on. Roll low.
Okay. So you see around the corner, you see right before they go around the corner, you hear the click of a flashlight. And then you see the light kind of sweeping the area as it goes around and looks into the alleyway. Now, they don't see anything really because a broken lock is kind of hard to... They just heard a noise, you know what I mean? And they flash the flashlight in that general area. Then they put their gun down and you realize it was Viper that heard a noise. And it's just kind of looking around, doesn't see anything, and just shrugs their shoulders and walks away.
Close one, you.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Let's get in there
That,
quickly before they know.
Let's head in, huh? Let's not stick around.
Okay. You guys make your way in, and it is a crawl space. It's very uncomfortable, but the crawl space leads to another area where it's like the height of a man, basically, because this is... people had to come in here to maintain it as well and build it and stuff like that. So it's meant for people to walk through. But as you guys are walking through, the first fan you come across is operational. And it's spinning and spinning and spinning. So you're gonna have to either time a way to get through it or to shut it off. And it's spinning.
Is it going fast enough to harm us, or can we stick something in there to stop it?
Do you want to find out?
I'm just gonna look and see how quickly it's moving.
They're big, thick metal fans. So yeah, I don't think I would risk getting hit by one.
Okay. And this is the only one, right? There's not another fan.
There's more down the way for sure, but this one is operational. It is moving kind of lazily. It's not like super fast, so you could time it.
Okay, I'll just jump through it. Yeah, I'll just jump through it.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Okay. 14. 16.
Yeah, with the 16, you're able to easily time it, and you're able to shoulder roll through, and you make it across. Doc?
Is it
Can I
possible
help
that
you from
I
the
can
side? I mean, nah, I can't do anything, can I really?
use my electronics or tech skills to try and figure out if there's a way to like make it slower or shut it off from this side, if there are any cables or anything?
Roll me a perception.
Perception. My
Can I see what he's
perception is
doing? Can I help him out? Can I see if I can do that as well?
It's
You
hard
can
to
go
help
my
him
side.
on the other side,
Okay.
but he's just looking around, like following wires.
17.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the 17, you follow the wires, and it goes into a divot into the wall, and you can see that maybe behind this panel of the wall there is like some kind of fuse box or something that the wires go to.
Try and use my combat knife or any other my tools to try and open it up and try and see if I can.
Okay, roll me an athletics check to see if you could break it open.
Athletics is not good. I'm gonna have My rolls are gonna. There it is.
All right. You shimmy your knife in between the two panels, and as you try to break it open, you dent the panel, and your knife cracks in half.
Dude, Jim, what are you doing? Is there no time for graffiti?
I'm not as quick as you are. Ugh.
Can I have a look to see if there's anything on my side that I can use to basically slow down the maybe put in the way the fans, so it just clangs and stops, that kind of thing.
You're looking around you, and there isn't really any materials or anything, but you do see that if you can break off a piece of that panel, the paneling around you, you can maybe shimmy it in and slow down the blades, at least for a few seconds.
I'll try that.
Okay,
Yeah.
roll me in athletics to see if you could break off one of these panels.
Okay, base 14. Come on. Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I 23.
Yeah, you break off a chunk of these panels, and actually you just exposed a bunch of wiring yourself. So whatever Doc was trying to find, you found.
You found it. It's a set.
He found a fuse box, but you found the wires going into the fuse box. You got a green, a red, and a blue wire.
Can I see if I would have any sort of?
What are you seeing?
I'm gonna say to Doc.
Tell
Doc,
me what you're seeing.
I can see a green, a blue, and a red wire here. Which one am I cutting, dude?
Can I use my previous electronics roll to determine which one I should use?
This is a new check, so roll in electronic security here. One was a padlock, and this is actual electric wiring.
Okay, 7 isn't bad. I think that's a 15. Yeah, 15.
Okay, with the 15, you know that usually in Night City, the municipal green wiring is the power, blue wiring is a ground, and the red wiring is an extra auxiliary wire in case they need to do some extra maintenance and add something different.
Guess I should pull the green wire. I'm just checking because I'm not Doc. So the green wire is the good one. Or you're not going to tell me, and I need to deduce myself.
You're sure that the green wire is the one?
Pull the green wire. Green wire.
Right,
the green wire. I'm not shouting it.
I'm gonna get the green wire, get my boot knife out, and just cut it.
Okay, remember it's a live wire, so you might want to.
Should just pull it. Pull it.
I'll just pull it. Yeah. I'll just pull
Okay,
it
so you pull on it, and it doesn't really take much. It's connected to something, and you hear something disconnect, Doc, on your end by the fuse box. And as that happens, all power shuts off. You hear just like the winding down of all the power in the entire facility turning off for a second. And it's just everything is dark.
Let's go.
And Doc,
Through the fan.
You get through the fan, Doc, and then you guys make your way to the next fan, going through that one. And then as you do, you hear the click clang as the auxiliary power turns on and connects. And now you're at a last fan that's starting to build momentum.
I'm going straight. I'm barreling through the thing.
All right.
Right through.
Roll me in athletics at a +2.
+2. It's 5, 19.
19. You get straight through there, no problem. Doc?
Now my mouse decides not to work. There we go. Oh, thank goodness.
Smashed it.
That's a 13.
Yeah, that's enough. It's enough. You're able to, get through, and even Theo grabs you, pulls you. Your rifle is about to get stuck between the blades, but you pull it at the last second, and you guys are through. All right? Now, where you all are relatively in this area is somewhere up here in the maintenance ducts. You see some grates under you where you can look through, and you can kind of see this entire area. Yeah, if you put your minis over here.
Sure.
You guys are just above.
Am I able...
Go ahead.
Sorry. Am I able to set up there?
Yeah.
nest there.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah, you have a full view of the entire area. There's a computer system over here. It says biolab, and you see that the auxiliary power has turned it on. The vats are starting to bubble up a little bit. And then inside here, you see Viper and Barracuda looking around with their guns drawn, trying to figure out why things powered on and powered off. And they're just like looking around, chatting with each other.
Let's just load up here. Sooner or later, they're just going to go, it's an old building, whatever, and let's just.
No,
chill.
this is a perfect spot. Taking the jacket off, trench coat off.
Perfect. Do you guys have any cyber ears?
No.
No, I got a cyber eye, but not ears.
Okay. With your cyber eye, you can try to do a lip reading to see what they're saying, because there's a lot of noise, so you can't really make out what they're saying. But if you can lip read, or if you had a cyber ear where you can hone in on their conversation, I'll give you that. But with your cyber eye, you can kind of zoom in a little bit and try to do a lip reading at a -1.
Now's the time to roll low. No, I don't want to waste high rolls. that's a 14.
No.
Yeah. With the 14, you're not under duress or anything. They're not even trying to hide what they're saying, so you can actually make out some of the words that they're saying. You see Vipers saying, like, power turned on, what do you want us to do? And then somebody says something on the other line, and she responds with, what do you mean it's okay? Obviously, this didn't happen by accident. And then she just, like, frustratedly looks at Barracuda and says, fine. No, we don't see anybody here. Fine. And then they hang up. And you see Viper tell Barracuda, he doesn't care. Let's go back to the front entrance, get this job over with. And they go back.
I whispered to Teddy saying, I think Viper thinks something's up. But I think Arata is just going with it. I don't think
Let
he
me tell you
cares.
2 things about Viper, all right? Number 1, she always thinks something's up. Number 2, her choice in men is fucked. All right? That's just not... It's all good.
Don't be butthurt because she turned you down 1,000,000 times.
There are ways to speak to people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe you should take your own advice.
I'm always nice to you.
Yes. But now you need to extend that to other people. At least pretend.
Fuck 'em. So, I'm thinking the plan. Are you okay set up here? Are you happy with this vantage point?
Yeah, this is perfect. Got a nice view of the whole facility. I'll be able to get a shot of here.
I'm gonna get changed into Tiger Claw gear.
Dude, I think you should stay here. I don't think you should go down there. It's
Really?
going to add so many other more variables. We're here, we're set up. We can be in and out through the shaft. If you go down there and something goes awry, it's going to be difficult getting out. But here, we got our way out.
Yeah. I see your point, Tune. All right. I'll stick here with you. I get the DeLorean out and I check it over once or twice. All right, I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Okay. So after some time, you guys finally see Arata walks in by himself at first. And he's looking around the facility. He's having a conversation with Barracuda and Viper. It gets a little bit heated. But you see a lot of Arata doing the same thing he would do to you guys when you guys would have a heated conversation with him. He would do a lot of, don't worry, it's fine, it's going to be okay. And there's Viper and Barracuda not believing a word that he says. But
I'm gonna text Jin, just saying, in position, all okay, all fine.
all right. So Viper and Barracuda, they go back to the front, and then you start seeing them come in. The first people that you see come in is the metal vultures. You only know that by guessing from the chrome that they have on. So let me get some minis out here.
Oh damn, dude! Like Cyberpunk's just full of stone cold hotties. What's going on?
Metal vultures come in, and they kind of make their way over here. Splice shakes Arata's hand, and they sit here.
I'm
Do
probably
they have
gonna
metal
call
beaks? Do they? Some of them have like
Fujian.
installed metal beaks because they're vultures.
Yeah, so the reason they're called vultures is because of their ability to scavenge and find old tech. But you see vulture tattoos. You see the side of Splice's head has a big vulture just tattooed on the bald side of her head right there. And they're chromed out from head to toe. I mean, it's hard to imagine that she's not cyber psycho.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Jin at this point, just to be on comms. That's it.
And you just hear Jin say, "Copy that."
I'm already
see.
set up, looking through the scope.
Can you ID our guy, Doc? I
Not
show him
yet.
who who we're looking for.
I've
Yeah.
seen a picture.
Next up, here's Jin
I got him.
Alrighty, you got him.
with another tiger claw, and the lantern is with him, and they make their way down. They shake hands with Arata, and you see them kind of just looking at the metal vultures, kind of sizing them up. Nobody's really doing anything. They're just looking at each other. Arata's just, all smiles, letting them know, yeah, the meeting's about to take place. Meeting's about to take place. Just relax. Everything's gonna be fine. And then finally, after some time, comes Trackmaster, the leader of the Hecate Ring. And
Okay, Doc, you tell me when you're ready to take the shot.
And the weird thing about it is Trackmaster comes alone.
Huh.
And they all kind of look at him quizzically. And he comes and stands here by himself. And as he does that, you guys hear footsteps in the maintenance shaft behind you.
Yeah, they're gonna try and we might need to bug somewhere else because there's a gangplank all the way around this place, right? Like there's a
Yeah, so there's like, you just imagine there's metal air ducts all over the place, all around here, you know what I mean?
The fans are on, right? So
Yeah.
can we listen out to hear when the fans go off or when, like,
Well, that's the
something
thing.
like-
That's the thing. You don't hear the fans go off. You just hear footstep, 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 then a bunch of noise like somebody went through the fans, and then another person went through the fans.
How many? I want to listen out for how many people are in this vent.
It sounds like there's two people.
Trying. 2 people. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do, Doc. I'm gonna cover here. I'm gonna leave the Malorian on them, and tell them just keep them here, right? You need to tell me when you're ready to take the shot. Then I will radio to Jin. You will take the shot. We will tell these guys that we're working for the vultures, right? And then we'll get and I've got them dead to right. We'll move on, right? They can stay here. We'll move on. We'll go right by them. They're not going to pull anything if I've got my gun trained on them.
Okay.
We just need the meeting to start a bit. I need them to make it look like it's not immediate as soon as they walked in. Have they started talking yet?
They haven't started talking yet. They're just kind of standing around. Arata goes up to this Hecate Ring guy, and they have some kind of conversation in private. And the Trackmaster his eyes never leave the other two bosses. He's just kind of sizing them up as Arata's like trying to get some information out of him, and he's giving Arata nothing. And these footsteps get really close. They're about to turn the corner and see you.
Okay, Doc, we either take the shot now, or I get these guys to stand down behind us. What are we doing?
Okay. We're gonna take the shot. I can't.
Jin, we're taking the shot now. We're taking the shot now.
As soon as you say that, Jin looks up in your direction and says, "It's a setup! It's a trap!" And he jumps over to the boss. Now, freeze. You're doing a called shot, okay? A called shot is a -8 to hit. Because you're in an elevated position and you're aiming predetermined aiming, I'm gonna give you a +2, okay? Your silencer gives you a plus
all
one.
my luck.
Your silencer gives you a +1, okay? So you're at a +3. So you're at a -5. How much luck are you using?
8.
Okay. So you are at a +3 to hit Jin in a specific area as to not injure him. I'm hoping.
Yes.
And with the sniper, let's see here. You are at... This is 100 meters. Almost. So you're going to need to give me a 12. Or sorry, 13, because you got a +3.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. So roll me your shoulder arms.
Here we go. This is
Come on, man.
Okay. That's a 3, but
Plus.
14.
All right. With the 14, you fire your shot, and the silencer makes it so they can't hear it, but it echoes throughout the maintenance duct that you're in. And the shot hits exactly where you want it to, right above the shoulder, through and through. And he hits the ground and goes, "Ah, damn it." The boss turns around and says something, screams something in Japanese. Splice turns around and says, "I knew it." And the Trackmaster pushes Arata into the corner against the vat over here and just disappears. And now it's a melee. They're fighting each other. They're attacking each other. Viper and Barracuda are there. They're firing down into them. And this is the face you see from your good friend Arata as everything goes down. Oops, no, that's not it. Hey, why does
It's always going to go Super Saiyan then. What?
Why is it doing that? That's so weird. Why is it doing that?
I saw it for a second, just like the flash.
Oh, no. He just like all this cyberware.
It's so weird. Why is it doing that? There's nothing there.
I see.
It's empty.
The lantern.
Yeah, that's weird. Why is it?
I saw it for a second on the screen.
Why don't you send it to me on Discord and I'll put it on the stream so people can see it.
That's not what I was trying to do.
Okay.
Here, I'll send it to you right now. Hold on. Let me see if that helps. Nope, still doesn't help. Let me see if I put his mini up there. All right, now I take it off. No, it's still showing his mini. That's weird. I'll have to figure it out. Weird. Okay, I'll send it to you.
At the bottom there, that there's people like.
Yeah, this right here. I'm just gonna make it real big.
I love it. I love it. Leave that guy on there. Leave it on
See
there.
the panicked look in Arata's face as everything comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
The most unexpected situation in the world. He did not see this coming as his chances crumble before him. Anything he was trying to do is absolutely denied to him. And because you guys made so much noise, just around the corner, these two from the Hikate ring, they come around the corner and they spot you guys. And you guys are
training my weapon in that direction. So
all right.
I'm plugging them as soon as they come around the corner.
Okay, you get the first shot then.
Yeah.
Roll me a stealth at +1, and they're gonna have to roll a perception.
Okay.
Against that.
14, 15, 22.
Okay, 22. Excuse me. Oh, let me get that water, but you don't have any. Never mind. All right, this is plus 11. An 18 is not enough. They come around the corner and you plug them one time with the Malorian. Roll me that damage.
All right, it's 4d6, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and you get to use my dice. Okay, 5, 11, 13.
All right, with the third, any double sixes or no?
Yes, so no, double fives.
Okay.
Not double six.
All right, double sixes mean there's a critical injury. So
Double fives gets you a thumbs up.
yeah, I'll just give you a thumbs up. It was a 14 or a 13?
13.
All right, with a 13, you blast around, and an incendiary round hits the first guy that comes around the corner. He slumps up against the wall, shocked from your shot. You get another shot, actually.
Okay, let's do it. So I just roll damage again?
No, you roll to hit. So as he's hitting, this is not a stealth, so it's a regular shot, point blank, basically. You guys are like elbow to elbow.
Okay, so handguns plus 14. 18.
Yep, with an 18, you absolutely hit. Roll the damage. So you just went pow, pow, 2 shots.
That is 12.
Okay, with a 12,
4, 1, 1.
both rounds hit, both rounds do damage. You see them slumped up against the wall. You see their ammo starting to cook in one of their extra magazines. They did not expect this at all. And
Can I shout to them?
yeah,
Say,
yeah, as a free
don't want to
action.
kill your tombs. Don't want to kill your tombs. Stand right there. Don't move. Weapons on the floor. Weapons on the floor, or I will plug both of you. On the floor.
Roll me a persuasion at a +1.
Okay. Persuasion +1.
Yep.
14, 15.
Okay.
Plus. That is 19.
19 versus this +11.
Plus 11.
19. Unfortunately, you aren't able to beat it. So these guys are cut from a different cloth. They don't even answer you. They just go straight into combat. And let's roll for initiative.
Okay, cool.
All right.
They took a lot of damage there anyway, so I'm guessing they're suicidal. These
The first
motherfuckers.
guy got really, really banged up.
What's initiative again? What do we roll? D10
reflex plus D10.
I'm going to add all of my combat roll into my initiative.
Okay.
I'm going to add all of it. I think last time it was plus... Where did we do it?
I forgot to add, when Doc was taking the shot, he was lowly singing a little song.
So I've got a roll ability where I can put my points into something else, right?
Yep.
Even my... how much is that? Because I've lost the thing. I don't know where it is.
You have
I think it
4
was
points.
4 points? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put 4 points into my initiative then, on top of... An initiative is...
Yeah, so you'll be at a reflex 12 plus 1d10.
12 plus 1d10.
Yeah.
Alright, 8. So
All right.
20.
You're very much first. The injured Hecate, and then it's one of the Hecates, then Doc, and then the injured one is last. All right, so your turn.
Shoot
Yeah.
the one that's going. Kill the one that's going to go next.
I'm gonna plug the one. I'm gonna plug the one who looks like he's about to draw on me. Who's ahead in the queue?
Yeah. Red base is injured.
All right, red base. 7 plus my sand guns. So that is 21.
Okay, 21. Now these Hecate are reflex. Their reflex is high, so they can actually dodge your bullets.
Okay.
So you're gonna see this plus 11. A 13 is not enough. They try to dodge out of the way, and you just train your gun in their exact direction, blasting one of them.
Am I rolling damage?
Yep.
Alrighty. So 4, 10, 15. Fucking 18.
18. Ooh, big boy damage.
Jesus.
Yeah, with an 18, you blast them into the abdomen. You see a bunch of blood and guts just coming out from the back of them, and they're trying to hold on to themselves. Their armor is keeping everything put together. They're still alive, but not long for this world. You get another shot.
Hmm. How healthy was the other one looking?
Not healthy.
He's still pretty
They're both looking very bad.
healthy?
Yeah, they're both looking bad.
Finish the one
I'm gonna-
because if you, yeah. All right, guys. Sorry.
So go on. What were you going to say?
No, I was just gonna say if we get the one that's going next, then I can get the other one, so they can't get any
Yeah.
shots off it.
Yeah, I think that's the guy I shot first. So yeah, I'll finish the guy off then. Who's going to go next? He's right in front of me.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll finish him.
roll it.
I'll try to anyway. Yeah, thought so.
You never know.
Ah.
No, it's almost the best thing you could get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you roll total?
So 2 plus 16.
16. All right, they're gonna try to dodge out of the way. Heavily injured at a -2. Oh, a 1 themselves. Terrible. Your bullet finds its mark, hits them right on the top of the chest. Roll that damage.
All right. 4,
Money
that's
bag, man.
10, that's 13, 15.
Okay. With 15 damage, you blast the top half of their body, and you just see a gaping wound where their neck and their shoulder meet, and they just slump up against the wall and just fall limp to the ground, unconscious or dead, or you don't know exactly what.
Okay. I'm leaving that person. I don't care.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So they are out of the fight. The other Hecate, as I said, is cut from a different cloth, and they're ready to avenge the death of their friend, family member, actually, not just a friend. This is family. Remember, they're a nomad.
Who's next? Is it Doc next? Or
No,
is it
it's
Yeah.
this guy. You
Well,
basically,
were we trying to kill? Oh, okay.
yeah, this guy's next.
Okay.
The injured guy
Okay.
was the one that you killed.
Okay.
But this guy's also injured. You hit him for 18 damage. So he drops his assault rifle and pulls out 2 throwing knives and just charges at you, Teddy. And he's gonna stab you with these 2 knives that he has on him.
roll?
You see him activate the knives, and they turn red, a deep, dark red, as he lunges at you with both hands. So this is gonna be a melee attack. We're gonna be rolling +11 versus your evasion. Okay.
14. Excellent. let's do it.
So a 19.
Oh shit.
Oh no, North.
Yeah, 14, 15.
All right, with the 15, they're gonna do damage. It's gonna be 3d6 plus 2. Oh, well, that's even worse. It's gonna be 3d6 plus 2, ignoring half your armor. All right, it's an 8 plus 2, so that's 10 damage, ignoring half your armor. So round it up. So you took 5. You took 5 damage, and your armor's down to 10.
Okay.
And then now I need you to roll a resist torture drugs as a biotoxin is entering into your system.
Okay. Let me just do my armor. Where is my armor? It is over here. Like armor down to 10. There we go. And how much damage was it?
It was 5 damage after all is said and done.
31. Down to 31. And I roll resist torture drugs, right?
That's right. And I want you to roll a 14 or higher, or else you're going to be poisoned by a very powerful biotoxin.
Where are we? Resist. There we go. 7. Okay. 14 or higher, right?
Yep.
Well, shit. Yeah, 2. No. Nope.
All right. Unfortunately, you are not able, your body's not able to resist this toxin as it enters into your system. You're going to take 5 damage directly to your HP right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you are now poisoned -1 to all rolls until this poison leaves your system, and every end of your turn, you're going to be taking 5 damage to your HP unless the biotoxin is removed.
Okay.
But
Well, let's end this. Let's end this combat, Doc. Let's do this.
problem is they get another attack, so they buried one knife
Oh.
into your chest. The good
So do I
news
do
is
a beat again?
you can't get double poisoned. They don't stack, but you will be taking another hit. So here comes another swing at you, plus 11, -2.
Okay, evasion. 14.
So 11 total.
Yeah.
All right.
there we go.
24 Plus. I'm
Just need
rolling
that
it. I'm
adrenaline.
rolling it. 24, 25.
Yeah, the adrenaline is dumping in you, and that's what's actually helping the biotoxin as well move through your body. But the adrenaline helps you take the damage and resist the next attack as you parry it out of the way. He lodges the knife into a metal panel next to you, and Doc, it's going to be your turn.
Can I talk to?
As-
Do the thing.
Dropping,
man.
obviously, the sniper rifle can't work too close, I'm assuming. I can't remember the mechanics.
Yeah, it's not good in point blank range.
Yeah. So dropping it, he pulls the SMG that's slung around him and he pulls it, and he's going to use the new skill that he has access to, auto fire.
All right. I'm going to give you a +1 because they are an easier target because they're right in front of you.
Okay.
And you're going to blast them at a +1 with an SMG, auto fire.
Okay, so that's 14.
Okay.
15 with the +1.
All right. With the 15, you blast, you empty the magazine, but the bullets go all around and rake around. You just see it hit some of their armor, but it kind of just bounces off and just makes a bunch of noise, but it doesn't really hit the target. Because you are trying not to hit Teddy as well.
Of course, I'm trying not to hit.
Yeah,
Teddy.
so your controlled burst goes all around. Teddy, it's your turn. You're gonna take 5 damage to your
Wait,
HP
stop.
right now.
Yeah. We're down to 21. Yeah.
And remember, you have a -1, and it's your turn.
You know what I'm doing.
Roll that Malorian, dude.
4 plus. That's 18.
18. All right, they're gonna try to dodge.
Flank.
This is at a +9 because of the -2. 13 or 14, not enough.
Yeah.
You plug
Kill
them with the Malorian in point blank range.
Alrighty, let's do it. That's 3. That's 9. That's 13. 14.
All right, 14 damage is a hefty amount. You see it go through their armor, you plug them, but adrenaline is pumping in this person as well. You're going to have to hit him with another good one to take him out.
Let's do it. 3 plus 14. That is 17.
17. A 17 versus their dodge. Here we go. This is at a +9 because of the -2. So 15, not enough. Your Malorian finds
Yes.
its place inside of their guts. Roll that damage.
Go again. Ah. Reroll it. Warhammer rules. 10.
Twin links.
14.
Sorry, what was it?
14.
14. With a 14, you just stick your Malorian into their abdomen and you pull the trigger, and a big puff of smoke and pink mist just blasts from the back of them as they fall slump onto your body unconscious.
I'd whisper in his ear, "Don't bring a knife to a gunfight, you fucking bitch." And then I wiggle him off me.
As you say that, you start seeing the blackness come around from your vision, the darkness, and now Doc,
Yeah,
you're starting to realize that there was something maybe in that knife.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and use my med kit and med scanner and everything I got to try and make sure that I can get rid of that poison.
All right, give him a paramedic to see if you can try to staunch the flow.
Paramedic,
Hey,
it's a
Dad,
+4.
I'm so glad you found me. I was.
It's all right, man. It's
I
all
actually
right.
love you.
Oh no.
Oh!
Oh no. Oh no. As you're fiddling around, you realize the toxin has entered his system too deeply and it's just going straight through him. You got to take him to a hospital. There's nothing you can do here. You stop the bleeding, but the toxin is in his system. And Theo, you're going to take another 5 damage to your HP.
Okay.
And if you're not in a hospital within the next hour, your character will have to make death saves.
But let's get out of here. Can I call a taxi or something on my agent?
Yeah, absolutely. But as you guys are leaving, you know, there's gunfire going from Viper and Barracuda into the air vents as they realize that the shot came from the vents. So they're just blasting you, and
I'm gonna try cover Teddy to make sure that he doesn't get more injured.
And as the bullets are flying, they're missing you. They're hitting the dead body of these 2 Hecate people. And they're both on fire, by the way. So they're kind of cooking in there. There's smoke. There's all kinds of debris and things moving around. You guys got to get out of there. Now remember, the only way out is through those fans. And the fans are back on.
As I go past, I'm gonna yank the same wire. If it's pulled out, I'm gonna yank the auxiliary.
Okay, you're going to yank the auxiliary. And I'm going to roll to see if you get electrocuted.
I don't care. I need to save Teddy.
You pull on the wire and it comes apart and you see a big flash, but thankfully it didn't make contact with you. It made contact with something else and it conducted the electricity. It shut off all power and the gunfire continues, the screaming continues, but the fans slow down and stop spinning. And now Teddy,
I'm sorry.
Teddy, you start hallucinating. Doc's arms look like snakes wrapping around your body, and every time you look at Doc, his face keeps shifting from his to your dad's, to Viper's, to Orada's, and you're just seeing you're on a trip right now.
Oh yeah. Hell
Do
yeah.
I have like blue lace or something that can like ease the pain? Or do I have some sort of stim that can just like give him a kick, like adrenaline?
So there is specific med tech stuff like Boost, and there's 2 other ones. Did you make any of those?
I have a first aid kit and a medical bag.
Okay, you already tried that, and all you could do was stop
I don't
the
know.
all you could do was stop the
That's
bleeding,
all.
but not the biotoxin.
No, I don't. I didn't think to make those off the top of my head, and I'm going to be honest.
Is a death save a D6?
No, it's a D10, and you got to roll over your body stat. If you roll under your you got to roll under your body stat. If you roll over, you're dead. Yeah.
Special one. All
Yeah,
right, that's ready.
yeah. How much HP do you have right now?
16.
Okay. Yeah, you're okay. You're at half health though, so it's gonna get a little bit worse as you make it outside of the ventilation system. You go through. You start seeing and hearing vehicles storming through the area because they heard the gunshots. So pedestrians are trying to clear the area. How are you gonna get them to a hospital?
Are there any vehicles that look unoccupied or something?
No, the streets have emptied. There is a parked car in front of you. It's a beat up Chevelle, and you can try to get it working.
But do I know if a taxi would take too long? Do I know if it's my only chance?
So you do obviously have to wait for a taxi to get to you. So you don't know.
All right. I gotta do this. I gotta try and get this car working.
As I'm tripping balls, can I try and call Jyzelle?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You have free will.
All right. I'm gonna call Jyzelle on my agent.
What do you need, Chum?
Jyzelle, got a few. Sorry, mine's got a.
Oh my God,
a few
Chum! Why are you
things I wanna
calling me while
say.
you're drunk? What is this?
Number one, shit went sideways. I think I'm gonna get out, but I'm gonna need a ride. Right now, I'm gonna ping you my location, my geoloc data. I'm gonna need a ride right now, and I also wanna just tell you, your legs are like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I didn't even know how you're here right now. It's amazing. Like, but like, just get the car here, please. Take me to the hospital, or you're not gonna be seeing your pal Theo no more. Okay? I'll just go to the hospital, and then I'm gonna take you for a night on the town like you wouldn't believe. You're gonna have so much fun. It's gonna be awesome.
I snatch the agent out of his hand, and I quickly say, Jyzelle, this is Doc. We got the job done. We've ruined Arata's reputation, but we need help. Teddy's injured. He's poisoned. I can't stop it. He needs a hospital.
All right, which one of you is going to roll a persuasion? If it's going to be Theo, it's a -1. If it's you, Doc, it's no minus at all.
What is
Theo,
your
what's your...
persuasion, Doc?
No, it's
Mine's
a
14.
6, so I think you roll it.
I'll use my death dice because that's what I'll use this thing. 14
you can't.
plus 7, and -1. So 14 plus 7 -1.
21, 20.
My brain 20. Yeah.
All right, 20. All right, with a 20, she says, damn it, Choom. Okay. Send me the location, and I'll send somebody over. Is he bleeding out? What's the situation?
Give her all the medical terms that Doc would know.
I flicker the geoloc.
Biotoxin. Hold on. She's trying to find out if they have some kind of anti-venom. We don't carry that with us, Choom. We got to take him to a hospital, or else he's going to flatline. All right, give me 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes... Sorry.
Can I try... In the 5 minutes, can I try and get this car started?
Yeah, you can try. But, Teddy, you're going to take another 5 damage to your HP.
Sure.
As the biotoxin is making its way and very close to shutting down organs. Teddy, or Doc, I'm assuming you try to open the door?
Yeah.
All right. Door is locked.
Damn it. I smashed the window.
You smashed the window. Burp, burp, burp. Alarm goes off. You're inside. You open it. And what are you going to do? What's your idea?
I'm going to try wire the car to try and get it started.
All right. You want to try to hotwire it. All right. You go under the car. You get some wires together. Roll me a vehicle tech.
Is it land vehicle?
Yeah, land
vehicle tech.
Yeah, land vehicle tech. I believe is what it's called.
Vehicle.
Let me double check.
No, it is land vehicle check. I don't know.
Yeah, land vehicle tech.
I think that's a 15.
Okay, with the 15, it's enough. This is a beat up old car. You can, the wiring is pretty easy. It doesn't have very good security. So
we might be saving 5 minutes, but I've already taken that damage with the 5 minutes. So like, if you're going in a beat up car, she's probably turning up with the fucking souped up, like, fixer car.
It's your life. What do you want, North? That's your character. What do you want me to do? I'm almost sweating. I'm actually so stressed.
I'm gonna say to you, look, Doc, just stick me in the back here, and then we'll lay low in here. She's gonna be sending the cavalry, dude. Just fucking.
Can I shut off the alarm at least with the 15?
Yeah. You have the car turns on.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Yeah. So just kill the engine, dude. Let's just wait for it. I'll get there.
All right.
I'm okay.
Because they're still inside fighting, right? Shouldn't we move the car like elsewhere and then pin her? Like we can meet her halfway, sort of thing.
Whatever location you gave Jyzelle, that's where they are intending to be.
Okay. All right. Okay. We will hide out in the car.
They're not finishing that fight in 5 minutes. That's going to be, you know what I mean? So that's, yeah.
So after 5 minutes, you are in control of the car. You turn it off. You turn off the alarm. You guys lay low inside, and you hear the loud humming of an aerial vehicle as it comes into your location, hovering just above you, and then it slowly comes down onto the street. A mid-level aerial vehicle, AV4, very common vehicle. You see somebody poke their head out the window, and they go, "Doc, Theo, is that you guys?"
Is that all right? Is that all right?
I'm pulling Doc out like by the jacket, and I'm like, "Come on, we're almost there," and just like dragging him across, like running.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I think I'm still awake, so I can use my legs. Yeah.
you see a teal blue cyber arm grab you, Theo, and pull you in, and Doc, same hand, helps you into the AV. Give me a perception check, Doc, because Theo, you're way too out of it.
Yeah. I'm now 10th Street.
For 15.
Yep. With the 15, you notice the cyber arm. It is from Trauma Team. Anybody that works for Trauma Team gets these kinds of like default cyberware from the company.
Yeah.
So whoever this guy is works for Trauma Team or pilfered a Trauma Team arm. So he takes a look at you and he says, "Which one of you is the one?" Never mind. I can tell.
Yeah. I just start rambling all the doctor's speech to give him the speed up of his condition and everything.
Yeah, he starts, Theo, he takes out a pair of scissors and he just starts cutting your clothes and trying to expose your wound.
Chum.
It's all right, Chum. You'll thank me later. He opens you up.
All right, Dad.
He sees the dressing that Doc hastily put on, and he's like, "All right, well, you stopped the bleeding, so it's got to be something else." He starts seeing the purple veins going across your body, on your chest, on your stomach, on your arms, and now on your face. And he says, "Oh boy, yeah, this guy doesn't have long. Hold on, let's see what we can do." And he starts rummaging through his bag. Here it is. All right, Chum. I'm sorry. I gotta hurt you before I help you. And you see him pull out a blood pump, Doc.
I hold Theo down.
Now, this blood pump is going to remove a lot of blood. Do you consent to let Theo go through this procedure?
I consent. Just do it quickly. Do it quickly.
He shoves the needle where it's supposed to go. He activates the pump, and you see the blood just draining out of Theo. And then he pulls out another bag, and he's like, "What's his blood type?"
Doc would know, whatever. O negative.
All right. I hope you're right. He plugs him from the other end and starts pumping. And then Theo, roll me a resist torture drugs at a -1.
Mm-hmm. -1. Should use my death dice. 4 plus 10.
All right, a 10. You are unconscious. The whole procedure, everything is just too much for you. The world goes black and you start dreaming. Luckily for you, this guy had exactly what he needed in his bag because I rolled a 10.
Yep.
And he was able to stop the flow of the biotoxin going through your system because another 10 minutes and you would be dead or rolling death saves. But that's exactly how long he needed to get you to the hospital. He flew over to the helipad, got down in there. Doc, you had to pay a guy 200 eddies just to let him through. Okay?
We'll do so.
All right, so you pay a guy 200 eddies, you slip it to him, and Theo, they take you into a cushy little nice room in the Night City Hospital. And after a few hours, you regain consciousness. Doc, are you in the room with him?
Yeah, every step of the way.
All right, now, whether you took a nap or not, you see Theo come back to life. And the world is no longer black Theo. It's color, and this big hospital room, white light is just shining on you.
Hey, big guy.
Did we win?
Yeah, we won. You had me worried there for a second.
Where's my agent? I get the agent, and I
It's in a bag on the other table. Doc has to get it for you.
Okay.
There you go, bud.
I text Jyzelle. and I say, I'm not saying this lightly. I owe you several drinks. You're the greatest woman I've ever met. Full stop. Whatever you need, I got you. And I send that, and then I turn around and I shake Doc's hand, but like an actual, not like a funny your streetwise on me. No, I actually shake his hand, looking dead in the eye. I go, thank you, man. Like, thank you.
Don't thank me, man. I wish I could have done more. I should have caught that easier. I wasn't prepared enough. I'm sorry.
Give him a shades. Give him a shades. Wow, there we go. Yeah. Where are the nurses?
Just calm down. You've been through half of your body's blood has been taken out of you. I don't think you could get it up if you really wanted to.
Oh, there's Mr. Studs for that. Hume, I can set that up. Anyway, what's the news? What's the news? What have we heard? What's on the street?
At least you're back to yourself. Do we have any news? Did his mate call? Or...
It's been a few hours. It's hard to determine what exactly happened. The chaos is still probably going on. Who knows what the fallout is with all this? If you're gonna find out something, it's gonna be tomorrow morning. Because it's still it's still too early to tell exactly what happened. You left the scene in chaos, and you remember Arata's face, and that's the most important part of the whole ordeal. But after, go ahead.
Sorry, man. I'm gonna text Slink, and I'm gonna say I'll have something for you to put on the screen sheets later. Hope you're doing well. That's it. And then I'll probably call Heavy, Maelstrom guy.
Heavy set.
Yeah. Does he pick up?
Yeah, he picks up. Is this the day after or right now?
No. I'm just literally after I wake up.
Okay. He answers and he goes, "Give me some good news, Chum."
I got you some good news. Not only is your pal Theo Uridine up and running, but we got done what needed to happen. He is free and cut loose on the street. I can have somebody tail him if you need it, but I don't think you'll need me to do anything. He's got no one backing him up anymore. So, at your leisure, my friend. Have fun.
Don't worry, Gato. We got it from here. But hey, sounds like you're already celebrating.
Yeah, I'm neck deep in bitches.
I like it, and I like you.
Don't call me a bitch.
All right, dude. Well, we should do this again. Like you're a man I like doing business with. Let's do this again. Don't be a stranger.
I think we will do just that. All right. You made a friend of the Maelstroms today.
Heavy. All right, Heavy. Have a good one. Enjoy.
Likewise, Chum. And he hangs up the phone. Bye. And there you are, both of you sitting in the hospital bed. Theo, it's going to take you some time to recover. A longer time than it took Doc. Because while the biotoxin is out of your system, it's not completely out of your system. You're going to have to pump it, add new blood. Doc, you know all this. You knew all this was going to happen. Do you stay at this hospital? Do you try to get out? You're all plugged up. You're in the hospital gown. You have IVs going.
I'll probably want to go back to Doc's clinic, man. If I'm stable and I can go, I'm going to go to Doc's clinic. It's more heavily armored. I'm with somebody I trust. I'll just go there.
Do you try to hop out before you have to pay for anything?
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can dine and dash.
Yes, do that. Stand and dash.
Okay.
I highly advise against that. These guys saved your life. Let's give them a pound of cash.
Bill? No, yeah, I'll pay. Yeah, definitely. I thought this was just on. Sorry, UK. I'm used to the NHS.
Yeah. No. Night City doesn't have free healthcare.
That's free.
Yeah. Okay. So I will pay. Yeah. Sure. Well, hit me with an invoice. I'll do that.
I'll pay half of it.
Okay, they do just that. You guys will know exactly how much it's going to be later after they put all the costs together. But you do request to be discharged. The doctor requests that you not be discharged and you stay, but they can't stop you from leaving.
Yeah, I'm going to the clinic. If it's safe to do so, like, you know what I mean? I know I'm not going to dead.
Yeah, you're.
Does Doc know
From here on in.
if he can take care of him at the clinic?
Yeah,
Because if he doesn't, then he would.
you know,
Right.
They don't know I'm going to a clinic. They think I'm just going to go run off the street. You know?
exactly. Yeah, they don't know any of that. And Doc, you know that you can take care of him from here. That most of the biotoxin is gone. You just got to give him steady IV and monitor him and make sure that he's okay and that the biotoxin doesn't duplicate. But the initial danger is gone.
Awesome.
We can then leave.
And just like that, Chooms.
Last thing I'll say is, Doc, that nurse is your assistant single or?
Please don't mix pleasure with business. You already have several ladies you want to see. Leave my assistant out of it, please.
Alrighty.
Unless you're planning on marrying her, leave my assistant out of it. I don't want that fallout to come back on me.
Alrighty.
Now, as you guys are having that conversation towards the clinic, you finally get to the clinic. Doc, you hook him up, and the camera zooms out and leaves the bleeding heart and goes past Night City up into a corporate tower where a man in a suit picks up the phone and he says, "Mushy mushy." "Yes, I heard." "Yeah, of course he failed. He's a street rat. It's in his name." No, the operation will still go on. Just with someone else. "Hey, find out who they were. I must know." "Yes, you're allowed to use those resources. Do not fail me." And that's where we will end the session today.
Well, shit.
Awesome, John.
Well,
Thanks.
shit. Awesome, John,
Yeah.
as always.
All right, Chooms. We a side
Oh
gig
my God.
accomplished. The only side gig where you didn't make money.
We got something
It was
more
worth
important
it.
than money.
Yeah.
It's worth
Yeah.
more than money, that's for sure. But was it worth your
It was-
life?
To be fair, like we got contacts, we got Maelstrom on side, we accomplished everything we wanted apart from the money, and the money was like the least important thing to me. It was like, well, I know I can make rent, so medical bills notwithstanding.
Yeah, it's fine. There will be other opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Fantastic.
Brother.
Sorry, I tried to get as quickly as I could, try to get something going. It took me a week,
Oh,
in a week's time.
that was
but
amazing.
the next time we hang out, we have something to look forward to.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I guess Darby and Slink need to think up a side gig for themselves after the
Yeah.
next session.
Yeah.
Well,
They could definitely do that. We'll figure it out. All right, Chooms. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. Make sure you guys do all the liking and subscribing and commenting. All those engagements help both North and I with our channels. But also, thank you so much for supporting us. And we really appreciate you guys watching. And join us next time for Cyberpunk 2087.
See you guys later.
You guys. Thanks, guys.
Good one.